don't need. That's too low. You gotta go high. We don't need no more trouble. Doing Bob this morning. War. What we need is love, love to guide and protect us from the monkeys that dropping bottles. Anyway, good morning, everybody. What is wrong with him? He just has way too much fun. How could you not have fun in this world? How could you not? The God's hella crazy. God crazy as hell. Gods are crazy. You know what I was watching this morning? Listening to, reading, whatever this week, was the Book of Judas. If you have not read the Book of Judas and you grew up in the church, you should read the Book of Judas. Oh my goodness gracious. I remember reading it as a child, but Judas basically said all the other 12 disciples crazy as hell. Hang on, you probably didn't hear me. I got the music cranked up. All right, there we go. Turn that down. We don't need no more trouble. We don't need no more bottles. That's what we don't need. I was thinking about this morning. You know, you find it odd that every time they go look in these pyramids, they don't ever find nothing. The tombs, all they find is gold and coins and treasure chests. How come when they open the tombs, we don't find any of that technology they melted rocks with and drilled through stone? Like we know from the tool marks, they had the ability, the ancients, to drill through stone quickly, better than your Dremels today. And they can melt rocks. How come they don't ever find that? Because you know, like the pharaohs, the kings, they're all over the planet. They like to be buried with their best tools. They always want to be buried with their riches because they always believe in the afterlife. How you gonna go into the afterlife without a tool to like drill some rocks, make some new temples, levitate the V-monitors? Now, how come they never find that when they open them tombs? They don't ever find it. They don't ever find the God's tools. They'll never find them. Anyway, I'm not sure we're gonna talk about today, other than the fact that, of course, the God's crazy. The gods are crazy as hell because look at the monkeys. Hell yeah, they've been dropping bottles all over this planet, if you ask me. If you ask me, Roswell, that was a bottle drop. That was a bottle drop. Have y'all watched the movie? You got to watch the documentary. It's a documentary explaining the human race to you. Mostly America. Literally explain that. We didn't have technology. We don't know what the hell to do with. The bottle drops and because you know what? Dang, I got to explain it, don't I? How old are y'all? How's the crowd? How old is the crowd here? Did y'all see the documentary? The guys must be crazy. One day, the guy was flying over and he threw his trash out the window like the aliens fly over. Anyway. And he dropped a bottle, landed in the middle of the tribe. The tribe didn't know what the hell to do with the Coke bottle, so they began to beat each other over the head with it and make things and fight over it and whatever. It's like a peaceful tribe, and now they just fighting, going crazy, kind of like colonization. Kind of like when someone made a ship. Someone went to China, made a ship. When some Spanish came to Latin America, brought some guns and horses. When the Huns figured out how to make a bow. Who was it? The Greeks who discovered the crossbow. Every time somebody finds a Coke bottle, they beat each other over the head with it. And I think we need to get out of this. We need to go another direction. It comes to mind when I think about that. It comes to mind that congressman. And by the way, let me tell you, the politicians don't lie. They don't lie. They just lie on the record. You want to know what's really going on? You ask them off the record. Turn off your cameras, you're recording things and devices and all that. Tell them you ain't gonna tell nobody. They'll tell you the real truth. You just gotta ask them. The politicians know what's going on, but it's gotta be off the record. But it reminds me of that time that congressman told me, he said, oh yeah, the United States, we done made our first starships in the 80s. I didn't know what to do with that. That bothered my head. That was a bottle. That was a bottle drop. I think we didn't discover some technology from all over this planet, all these ancient cultures, because people litter. Aliens, if we litter, aliens litter. If missionaries litter, we litter. I gotta post something, hang on. Oh, that's right. Oh, this will piss somebody off. It'll probably get me reported. I think who moved my cheese was fake news. I don't think that was real. I think it's who moved my bananas. Because that's what happens every time you get a bottle, you get a higher piece of technology, you need to beat somebody in the head with it and steal their bananas. War. Let me move this all over. This is the end of the movie. Y'all didn't watch the documentary. This is the end. His name is Key. He was the key. He understood at the end that this bottle gonna kill everybody, so he decided to walk to the end of the earth, because the earth, you know, is flat, and the turtles is right down there. He took that bottle that they dropped on that peaceful civilization, he threw that bottle of hell off. That's what he did. That was what the whole documentary is about, his voyage. to get rid of the technology of war, the thing that caused his tribe to beat each other over the heads. Anyway, I had to think for a minute. A lot of things come to my mind. I'm almost ready. I'm not ready. Hang on. I'm almost ready. Speaking of war, what do we lose? What did the Pentagon drop something? It wasn't another 21 trillion, was it? It was a, what did they drop? In Afghanistan somewhere. I gotta get YouTube going. They dropped, what was that? $740 million worth of weaponry. They can't find it. It fell off a truck. Somebody was driving a Humvee and $744 million worth of weapons fell off the Pentagon's truck somewhere in, was it Syria, Afghanistan? I don't know. Somebody at there looting. We could look at that if you want. But to me, lost, when the Pentagon says that they lost something, understand what that really means. That does not mean that they can't find it. That does not mean they didn't know where it went. That does not mean that somebody didn't pay for it and they delivered it. It means that they're not allowed to tell you who got them weapons. That's what it is. Almost $1 billion in weapons. They're just not allowed to tell you. That's all. War is a horrible thing. The Pentagon's doing what they're supposed to do. I'm not mad at the Pentagon, but they're supposed to tell you that they lost it. They didn't lose it. It just means it went to a profitable place that will probably come back and be used against its allies, our troops, or some citizens somewhere, so they can't tell you. But it went to a profitable place because that's what war is. War is hell. It's hell. That's why you don't ever press that button, turn that key to get the people to go kill, because the people at the Pentagon, they're not trained to think about like love and peace and vibration and energy. They're just paid to murder people. That's all. They're a tool. We are the problem. We still agree to keep this war going on, and we know that God's crazy as hell. All right, hang on. I got to put the name of the video on the thing, then we'll get started. Of course, the guys must be crazy. I'm late this morning. Because the guy is crazy because I'm still at work. Somebody asked me the solution. We can talk about the problems. We can laugh at them all day because we're ridiculous and we're stupid. We want to keep technology from each other like this tribe in a Coke bottle. I'm still on a direct democracy. I believe in freedom and liberty. I believe in leave human beings alone. Human beings are frequency and vibration. I think that the human beings are like a piano, right? It can be tuned for crazy. It can be tuned to hit each other in the head with a Coke bottle. But if everybody has a Coke bottle, nobody hits each other in the head. Everybody's peaceful and happy. So the end state has to be resource-based economy. Everybody's got to have what they need and what they want. Otherwise, they're going to act crazy and a fool, mentally ill, and beat each other in the head with it. So I think it's direct democracy. Once again, let the people decide. Hopefully they'll discover some consciousness and figure out what sovereignty is. Leave each other the hell alone. They stop playing follow the leader. I don't want to be a slave no more. We don't need no more masters. And they can create an open source world. That's what I told the sister. Say, what's the secret? What do you do? Because we meet new people all the time. And I want to act like we just laugh at the problems. That's only part of the solution. You have to laugh at the ignorant people who don't want to solve anything. Is to allow, if you're gonna be governed, it has to be somebody that's tuning your society. This is a thought I was having this morning. That's all I do. I have these thoughts because I ain't got no kind of a life. The human being is a frequency. Think of it like that. In a government, someone who's actually governing you, a civilized society would be like a tuning fork. Like, this is what you gotta do. You gotta go to the ghetto, right? Go to the trailer park and go to the burial. This is what, when you're governed, what would happen. You see your whole government get together. They had this big old tuning fork, which is how the Egyptians lifted the bricks, but that's another whole discussion. And you can, you see all them little bad kids stop being bad. You see the gangs all break up. And really, you know what that is, that analogy, the tuning? It's food, it's water, it's like oxygen and freedom and like toys, and let everybody have it, 3D printing everything that they need. And all of a sudden you see the people in the trailer park start putting down a Coke 45 in the beer. Well, wait, no, Coke 45 in the ghetto and Budweiser in the trailer park. An elephant in the colleges. We used to drink elephant. We didn't have designer beers back then. We drank monkey, elephant, drank rhino. I went to a college. It was in the South. It was in the South. We were isolated and secluded. We couldn't get Budweiser down there. We drank Buffalo. I said, yeah, I believe it because that's what's wrong with you now. All right, I'm sorry. I'm finished. Let me get YouTube comments going. Disconnect that. Bring in the new one. I got procedures, y'all. I got new procedures I got to do to get YouTube going. Boom! There go YouTube. Hey, funny Monday to you. Funny Monday, Citizen Day. Hey, you know, we have to laugh. You gotta laugh because this is ridiculous. You gotta laugh. Let me find the talk music. Good morning, everybody. Everybody have a good weekend? I had a great week. I had some fun, poking fun. You know what? Let me ask y'all a question. Did anybody land on the moon? I like this picture right here. I'm just gonna put that there because that'll bring our flat earthers. I don't know. What is today? 2/24. I'm not sure if we landed on the moon. I kind of think we did, but what do I know? They don't ever tell me nothing. The guys must be crazy. Because they don't tell me the truth. Anytime they open tombs, Egyptian tombs and ancient tombs and Mayan tombs and Aztec tombs and any tombs that date back to a time period when they had the technology to melt rocks, they don't tell us what they find. They don't do a live stream when they open the tomb. They open the damn tomb. They find out if any of that king got buried with the laser guns, the rifles, the V-Manas, however they melted them rocks and drilled the holes in stone that's diorite, the hardest stone on the planet. They take out the important stuff and they leave all the gold and silver and stuff, and then they turn the TV camera on. Because that's what deep states do. That's what deep states do. That's what DARPA does. Every king has had a DARPA. Every lord, every kingdom, they all have had it from the very beginning. They just didn't call it DARPA. They all had patent security. They all had invention security acts in 1951 to make sure that the gross domestic product continued to move on. Forced conflict and forced labor society. There were forced labor camps that we call a society. There's a whole lot there. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? Jasmine in the house and Hillary. Oh, y'all used to drink Zima. So did I, Hillary, but we didn't drink the Zima. We got the Zima for the women. Now we got the Zima for y'all. We didn't drink the Zima. Oh, we drunk Thunderbird, Monkey, Buffalo, Southern Comfort, and we get the Zima because women have always been a little smarter. They were a little smarter back then. You couldn't trick them back then. Oh, we're gonna tell some secrets this morning. Now you couldn't trick them. You had to give them some Boone's Farm, some Zima, but you had to buy a whole lot to get them looking at you, thinking that you, okay, this monkey, this monkey looking better and better. I had to buy a whole bunch of damn Zima. I couldn't stand Zima, Hillary, but I had to buy it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be copulating back in college. All right, bad story. I ain't gonna say I gotta shoot. I got a son in college. I can't talk like that. He might actually watch it like, oh, you're a daddy. No, let me stop. He got in trouble too. I'm glad he graduated. Oh, I didn't know he was gonna graduate. He and his friends used to watch my live streams in school. They're glad. You know what? This is how you know that you're training your kids right. This is how you know they're picking it up. If he and his friends been watching my live streams while the teacher talking, oh Lord, I still got one more. Do not watch that while you're in school. Do not encourage it. But that's how you know they know school is a lie. All right, hang on. Let me get my comments up here. How's everybody doing this morning? Anybody learn anything this weekend? I mean, I can sit here and laugh about the gods must be crazy because they crazy as hell. They leaving us in this particular circumstance. The gods, little G, not the big one. Not the big one. I don't laugh at the big one. I don't know. Because I believe in that song. How's that song go? That nobody's laughing when God is something when you in pain or something. How does that song? Y'all know that song? That's from a couple years ago. Nobody's laughing at God when bad stuff happened. When the monkeys fighting over bottles and stuff. I don't laugh at the big G guys. Little guys, I laugh at all the time. Little G guys, because the little G guys laughing at us. That's why. Hang on, let me give her that picture. Good morning. Who's that, Ty? What the hell you doing up this early? You supposed to be up late. I had an amazing chicken cordon bleu sandwich last nightmare. So good. I'm still thinking about it. Oh, chicken cordon bleu. I ain't had chicken cordon bleu in a minute. I've been a vegetarian. How long have I been a vegetarian? Well over a decade. I ain't had that in a minute. I used to like chicken cordon bleu. I don't eat that no more. No. I'm trying to get away from all the monkeyisms. The whole eating of the flesh. Let me see. But I guess Zima for the flesh is that's a little different. Anyway, Asado left on the moon. Now I get the picture. With Bigfoot. But Christine, the flat earthers, they're not wrong about everything. They're not. NASA don't never tell the truth. NASA don't never tell the truth. They ain't telling the truth now. They are not. That's what I was thinking about Christine. When somebody made the clipper ships, like the first ships, the big sailing ships to go rob everybody, they didn't tell us. They didn't tell nobody. They didn't tell the people till they needed some expendable labor, until they needed some slaves to make a whole bunch of them because Spain was making them. Until they got to the new land and came back and realized they need a bunch of dummies to go over there and kill a bunch of people. They didn't tell us. So what are the odds they're telling us about starships? What's the odds NASA's gonna tell us about a starship? I mean, they didn't tell us about wooden ships with sails. Not until they needed to abuse us and get us to go murder people and get murdered. That's why I just laugh. I laugh. I think if you look at history, how things have always gone, you don't even have to watch the news. You can just think about how did things used to go? Because if things used to go that way, then they probably still go that way now. You know, war is the greatest eraser of history. After the war, people leave bows and arrows and crossbows and axes, and another generation comes, discovers the bottle, and it gives them a jump ahead of everybody else. Because whatever technology they were using to melt those rocks with, let me show you, I'm gonna take you to my favorite temple. I gotta take you to my favorite temple. Because they found, what is it, King Tut's tomb? They found another chamber behind it. Susan, you might know about that. Susan's always up on that stuff. They found another chamber behind the King Tut's chamber where they lied about what they found. Because they didn't find just gold and some rocks and some mummified birds and they cried. That's stuff for y'all. Anything that's important that they found, any ancient technology, they kept. And they know they have it. They know they have it. Let me tell you, let me show you. What is that tomb in Egypt? The tomb with the melted steps. The temple with the melted steps. All over, if you look at ancient archaeology, like the government does, CIA has website. They have a site in Egypt for a reason. They got sites in New Mexico, and other places where they're ancient civilizations. Why? Because they want that ancient technology. They're gonna lie to you about what they found because the gods are crazy. Like right here, these melted steps. We did a video on this not too long ago. There you go, the melted steps. Right there, baby. Right there. Somebody didn't have some technology down there. And the only difference is whatever they use to drill those blocks, diorite, stone, and melt steps. I think it was like 1,500 degrees. You had to heat that. That was granite or sandstone? I forgot which it was. I hadn't looked at that in a minute. Whatever that technology is, your government's trying to figure out how to use that on flesh. That's so at least back then the pagans were like melting steps and building statues to the gods that were coming out the heavens. But your governments now, no, they're not telling you the truth because they figure out how can you murder most people with it. That's what they're trying to tell us at DARPA, is that we should stop working on that technology. Anyway, the gods must be crazy. Hillary, Alizé, ooh, goodness gracious, Hillary, where you grow up? You drinking Alizé in college? We're not gonna go there. Let me stop. Hey, Rebecca and Megs is in the house. Courtney is in the house. Oh, we got a wave feature. I can see people waving at me. Well, wait a minute. Let's see. What does it say? Oh no, all it says Courtney is watching and I can choose to wave at Courtney. That's what it says. Okay, I'm not gonna wave at Courtney. I'm not gonna do, because if I wave at Courtney, then I gotta wave at everybody. Otherwise, it's like the bottle in the tribe. And they're like, well, how can you wave at her? You ain't wave. How come you gonna wave at her? I didn't send you some links, so I'm not gonna do that. Anytime you introduce new technology to the tribe, one has something the others don't have, then it's a problem. We need equality, y'all. Equality. That's why the solution is always open source and equality. Open source, equality. Government can't have no secrets. Corporations can't have no secrets. Archaeologists can't have no secrets. No systems can have secrets. The monkeys can have secrets because the monkeys don't have enough power to destroy, murder, and kill in mass amounts. But governments can't have any secrets. We need an open source society. Completely open source and equality. Or are we all going to die? That's our only option. We're either going to be equal or we're all going to die. But we keep continuing on with authority and power, we're not going to make it. Because the authority and power are just systems. They're just going to fight each other over the power. You're like, how many countries are there? 220. So, and let's say, so there's 200, let's say it's 220 countries around the world. That means you have 219 that are trying to figure out the easiest way to spend the least amount of resources to murder you and your children and your children's children and your uncles and your aunts and your nieces and your grandmamas and grandbabies, and those people ain't never even met you. They just think that you're in conflict with them, so they're in conflict with you. And this is the dumbest idea. This is how there's another way the gods must be crazy, because the gods can fix this at any time. They're not fixing it. They're probably just laughing. So I laugh at the gods too. I'm laughing at the gods. I ain't laughing at the God. I'm laughing at the gods with an S. All right. Hey everybody, Lucy's in the house. Brother Michael's in the house. Appreciate Brother Michael always waking people up. Always appreciate. If y'all don't follow Michael Mendoza, you need to follow that brother. That brother's always dropping some truth bombs. Hang on. I want to go over to my timeline. I saw something just before I started this. I got to show you. That's not the right one. I need to categorize these things. I think it's this one, but it doesn't really show right. I was just about to go live and I saw this. Did y'all see this right here? Y'all see this right here? Is this an atrocity? What is this? Walls made of human bones discovered in Belgium. I'm not even sure where Belgium is on the map. I don't need to read the article because I already know why they're there. Because the gods are crazy. Somebody figured out a way to murder more humans than could murder that group of humans, and so they murdered them and piled them up in walls and piles of bones. It's nothing different than what the Pentagon's doing right now. Nothing different than what Britain is doing right now. No different than what Russia and China and everybody's trying to figure out to do right now. We got to grow up. We got to evolve and find some consciousness. All right. Learn that the organs in churches, ESP, old ones used its vibration for healing. Not only for hymns. Oh, Jennifer, yes. Didn't we talk? We mentioned, somebody mentioned that. And I plagiarized it. I took it like a parrot. I spit it back out. Yes, absolutely. If human beings are frequencies, then absolutely you can heal human beings with frequencies. But if you can keep people out of tune, then you keep them aggressive and angry and mad and mentally ill and fighting each other. And Brother John talking about 5G, and that's probably what a lot of that's for too. If you can keep human beings off of frequency, you can keep them in an uncivilization, but try to tell them it's a civilization where the governing bodies never are tuning the kids to the right frequency. To get them to stop murdering each other, doing drive-by shootings and tractor pulls with drunk on beer, mullets going crazy. And listen, we can tune people to the right frequency. That's not that nobody can gain power if the people are happy. It's Christine from Belgium. Christine, why you people do this? Why they do that? That's not for the same reason my government's doing it right now. I didn't know Christine was from Belgium. Yep, it's bones right on my walls, bones. We need an open source society. That was another thing we were speaking about this morning. We need a transparent, open source society. That's right. And this is why the government takes your privacy and gives you a police state, because it doesn't want to evolve. It doesn't want to move to the next level of its evolution, which is to stop being a criminal organization, killing other people and stealing what they got. Government can't have any privacy. It needs to be completely transparent. That's one thing Obama said right, but he ain't do nothing about it. Because he can't. Oh, here you go. This is who's that? Who said that? Jennifer said that. Yeah, humans are frequencies. Absolutely. Humans are frequencies. A civilized society acts like a tuning fork, not a forced labor camp. The uncivil models need less power. They need less votes. They need less power. They need you less posting about them. They need less 2020s, not more. That's my thought on that. So absolutely. Good morning. Who is that? Amanda Boudreaux. Good morning, girl. How you doing, Amanda Boudreaux? Hey, I almost died this weekend. Did I tell y'all that? I almost died this week. Oh man, I almost died this weekend. Goodness gracious. Woo! I mentioned that Friday. Be careful with the spicy food, y'all. Be careful with it. I thought I was grown up. I was eating some Indian food. I told the guy mild. He didn't give it to me mild. Oh, good Lord. Apparently you can have something called acid reflux in the middle of the night while you sleeping, and your stomach try to come out your mouth. That didn't sound right at all. But I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm choking, all kind of stomach fluids in my, I'm gurgling on like, I almost died. I swear, oh my goodness. I knew I was gonna die. I couldn't breathe, couldn't spit, couldn't chew, swallow, nothing. Got something called acid reflux. It's when you're grown. It's when you think you're grown. It's when you think you're grown and you eat too late, you sleep on your stomach, and you eat a bunch of spicy food. That is, you think you're grown. No, I'm not grown enough for that. I can tell you that. And I got my son with his jokes like, hey, Dad, what we gonna eat for dinner tonight? Oh, bastard. I woke up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., choking, spitting. Oh, I'm dying. Last night we went out for dinner and he joked. He's like, Dad, you want to make you start? I was like, hey, what you want to get for dinner? And he said, hey, we should start getting some Indian food. Man, what the hell wrong with my son? He got his mama jeans. Anyway, I almost died. Listen, y'all, something called acid reflux. Please eat spicy food responsibly. Don't sleep on your stomach. Especially if you're in prison. Don't sleep. If you live in America, get used to sleeping on your back because you're all criminals. They can throw you in that hot box anytime they want. Do flat earthers think all planets are flat or just Earth? That's a good question, Susan. I think that I got a lot of flat earther friends. I got a whole bunch of them on here. I think that they think that it's a hologram, right? Because I think like the basis of their thing is NASA's lying, right? And we know NASA's lying. They're right about that. But I think the base, because every government's had a NASA. Every king has had a NASA, and they never tell you about the ships that they create to cross the voids, right? Not until they can exploit what's across the void and exploit you. So that's the basis of it, but I think they think it's an illusion. Balance, yes, everything needs balance, Jasmine. If we don't have a balance, bad things happen. Always sleep on the left side. Hillary, I heard that. I heard they said that you got to sleep on the left side for the acid reflux and sleep on, well, first of all, you don't eat like an American. That's not, you could actually eat responsibly and early in the day. Don't wait till 11 o'clock at night, eat something, sleep on your stomach. That's number one. Don't be stupid. You could do that. Test the food. If it's too spicy, don't keep eating it. You could not be stupid too. And then, yes, you can sleep on your left side. But I think that's good for gas too, isn't it? I think a doctor told me that once. You sleep on your left side, it's good. It lets it pass easily or something, doesn't bubble up or something. Must have been spicy. Yeah, Christina, it was way too spicy. I almost died. I swear I was done. I wouldn't even think about no damn videos. I just knew I was going to die. Choking is not the way to go. A lot of ways to go. Choking is not one. I was thinking about this weekend. That's y'all a question. Because The Walking Dead is out. Walking Dead is back. I got, what is that? What is that called? AMC Premiere. So I get to watch it before y'all. I'm like the rich people at the lines at the amusement parks. While the poor people gotta wait. Nah, I watched it 48 hours early. The new Walking Dead, which is fantastic. Now the message is off. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's nice. So I was thinking, so what would you rather? Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse in a survival group of just different color and gender preference people fighting the zombies together, or would you rather live under New York City? Live under an American city. Any of them, you can pick one of them. All of them got people who live under the city. In an apocalyptic times when you ain't got nothing, you live under the damn city and you gotta listen to everybody above you clapping about their 2020. Which would you prefer? What apocalypse do you want? I have to be honest with you. I prefer the apocalypse of fighting zombies. I'd rather the whole world die and turn to like flesh-eating goo, nasty funk monsters trying to eat my brains than to have my apathetic neighbors and friends and family above me living in the big cities with the government clapping over the next 2020. I don't do politics, yo. I am so sick of it now. We need to put this thing to bed. We need to just take this monster and just lay it out, let it go to this narcissistic idea of robbing Peter to pay Paul. We need to let this die. We really do. We need to let this go extinct. We're going to kill us and everybody else around. We're going to bring the next zombie apocalypse. It's just a matter of time. Ooh, decalcifying your third eye. You will start to tune into the righteous frequency. Michael Mendoza, I think I've been doing that. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I think my third eye is opening. I think it's open. I do. Well, I eat healthy and a lot of things, what they say, it calcifies it, but also there's all kind of energy use and all the pesticides that you eat and all the Tylenol and aspirin and all the drugs you put in your body and your body's fight. It's either using energy to evolve towards being conscious, or it's fighting the dumb stuff that you're putting in your mouth and rubbing on your body because it has a commercial. So I think I've done it on accident. I think it's opening. I won't say it's open, it's opening. But everything's trying to evolve towards consciousness. Like, oh, Emilio posted a good video this weekend. I was watching it. What is this? I like old videos, but you know what amazes me is how much we knew way back. And we didn't listen to those people. What is his name? Teilhard? Is Emilio here? I didn't finish it, but I started watching it. It was fantastic. It was a video of some old people saying some old stuff that we knew a long time ago. And his whole point is that we are constantly evolving forward. Your body literally always wants to evolve and move forward. Everything does. Rocks, dirt, bacteria, elements and particles, everything's conscious and everything's evolving forward, and it's always trying to create more complexities, more complex systems. What was this called? Y'all should watch this. Let me see if I can find this. It amazes me, like the level of depth that we've had. This is it. It was based on a book right here. What's this?
The world is ripe and fertile for the advent of the cell.
The phenomenon of man.
It might have
from
seemed
Teilhard
completely inanimate.
to Chardin.
Yet upon closer examination, we would...
It's fantastic. You have to watch it. You have to watch it. But I think in a default condition, Michael, when we're not poisoning ourselves, we are moving towards consciousness, right? When you don't have a government that's starving you, full of the things that are abundant, spending billions of dollars and losing weapons all over in its war zones, human beings become beautiful things. So I think I did it on accident. I think it's opening. I won't say it's open. Tamarind always helps. Yeah, tamarind always helps. Absolutely. The Phoenix Enigma last night was all about survival when the 5G vaccine virus, fake alien zombie apocalypse hits. That's a mouthful. Sounds like a real pain in the butt. I think I'll just shroom myself to death. Patricia, well, hang on. I gotta hit more. Shroom myself to death. Or something. No, don't shroom yourself. The Phoenix Enigma. What is that, Patricia? The Phoenix Enigma last night. What was that? Was that on TV? I really don't watch too much TV. I have my shows I'll watch. But for the most part, I stay away from it. I think that thing is programming you. Well, let me see. It's a YouTube channel. The Phoenix Enigma. Oh, okay. So is that the one you're talking about? YouTube channel? He did one last night. Streamed one day ago. Common Sense Prep. Okay, is it a prepper channel? What's this? I'm always interested in people's thoughts. Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen this brother before. I didn't watch it last night. Common Sense Prep. Ooh, yeah, we need to prep for some common sense. We need to use some common sense. I'm gonna go through what Patricia said, because what she said sounds like crazy to most people. But prepping. Should we prep for survival when the 5G happens? Well, yeah, we know 5G, it destroys DNA, causes all types of problems in the human body, from the sweat, the heart, the lung, the muscle. It affects the bees, the birds. So yeah, prepping for 5G is a good idea. A lot of ways to do that. You can grow bamboo, make yourself a 10 hat, not the 404, don't work. Make yourself a 10 hat, yeah, you can actually do that. Trees block it, so yeah, you prepping for that's a good idea. Vaccines, well, that's something you can prep for. Literally don't take them, and it's not even about anything else other than the fact that corporations have not figured out how to be a better immune system than your immune system. It's 1 billion years old. Bottom line, it got nothing to do with vaccines. It simply got to do with common damn sense. You have a complex system in your body. Ain't nobody figured it out yet. Don't let anybody lie to you and tell you that they figured it out. Don't take any corporation's products that they have to force on you. Right? If other people are taking it like, ooh, I took this one. This one's delicious. Oh, it worked. This helped everything. I took the vaccine for the cuckoo virus, and I went to China and I kissed everybody in the airport. I didn't get the cuckoo virus. All right, well, damn it, you got something. But if they're like buying politicians and legislations to force it on you, and they're throwing people in prison and kicking them out of schools if they don't take it, no, thank you. I'll wait on that. So absolutely, virus, that's another thing we can prep for. Patricia, I agree with that. Virus is always trying to kill the human race since the beginning of time. They want to reclaim our energy. Absolutely, prepping for that sounds like common sense to me. Fake alien attack, absolutely, because they always fake the aliens attack. The kings and lords have been doing that since the beginning of time. Ain't got nothing to do with green men. Ain't got nothing to do with big-headed green men and the little G gods. They've been staging fake invasion, talking about how the pagans are coming to get you, the Zulus want to eat you, and the cannibals want to kill you, and the next people all over, the barbarians, want to attack the kingdom and steal and rob your food. The black people on cannabis going to rape the children, and all kind of crazy stuff. Aliens been invading, Patricia, for a long time. That's just common damn sense. I agree with that. Common sense prep. I have to watch it. And make zombie apocalypse it. The zombie apocalypse has happened many times in the past, Patricia. And people are like, what the hell is he talking about? Well, they're not coming for your brains, but they'll come for your food. They'll come for your house. They'll come for your car. The Great Depression was a zombie apocalypse. If people didn't have enough, they went to go take what they didn't have. You know, zombies always been walking Earth. That's why I tell people, Patricia, I'm a zombie apocalypse prepper, because the zombie apocalypse always happens. As long as you got government, you just waiting for the next zombie apocalypse. They keep artificial scarcity going and artificial scarcity. So the next time the guy drops a bottle on the tribe, they'll use that bottle to do something with. They tell you about it. And in this case, this particular bottle is starships, levitation devices, EMF, TR3B, energy patents, free energy. They figured that out, and they're not telling nobody about it for the most part, because they ain't figured out yet how to abuse us with it. When they can figure out how to abuse us with it, they'll get us building their battle starships and they'll starve us so that we'll do it. Because we'll yell and scream for slavery. We'll say, we need jobs, we need jobs. And then, okay, you can work on the starships, and the rest of you dumb monkeys can get on the ship and go kill some aliens. And it sounds crazy, but it's happened since the beginning of time. You know, this space is just another ocean. That's all it is. Aliens are just more people on the other side of the ocean. That's all they are. And they got the same problems we got. I bet you they got governments over there too. But if you run into the ones that are already in space, yeah, you're not fighting nothing. You can take all the swords and daggers, 5Gs and nuclear weapons you want. The ones that have been in space for billions of years, this whole 4th of July nonsense, when the aliens come, we're gonna fight them. No, you can go to their land and you can kill them. Like, you go find some aliens that are old or young, like us, like when we colonized, but you find yourself some aliens got a little age on them. All they're gonna do is zap you. That's it. It's gonna be all over. Ain't no tanks and airplanes. Scramble, Americans, protect us. Get the Russians, scramble the jets. We're all gonna work together and protect the Earth. No, the gods ain't crazy. The guys ain't got time for that. They want Earth, they gonna take Earth. That's the end of it. They gonna drop an asteroid and just think. Snap their finger. Little G guys, not the big guy, not the big one, the little G ones. I plan to shrew myself into the next dimension. Well, Lucy, don't do that just yet. Hang on. We might need your help, Lucy. She got farm animals. She know how to farm and take care of them chickens and dogs and bears and all that stuff she got out there. No, don't do that. We need you. We bad days is coming, because bad days are always coming. Bad days are always coming, because we're not equal yet. When everybody's equal, then great things will happen in the near future. Zeitgeist movement, Venus Project, resource-based economy. Print what everybody needs, use free energy to do that. Use automation and robotics to solve every damn problem people have. Then they don't want to rob you, they don't want to rape you, they don't want to loot you, they won't join your military, and they'll stop all this voting for kings and lords to have power over everybody. So I absolutely agree with those things. But yeah, don't go nowhere. We still need you. We ain't got the robots. The robots just you, and they don't know how to grow cows yet. They don't. So you can't shroom me saying nobody gets to check out. Nobody gets, because Lucy, I would check out if I could. I ain't gonna lie to you, I almost did check out. Shoot, we down there living with property in Belize. I was about to get the hell out of here, but no, I got an obligation to the next generation. I gotta stick through it. I lived great, Lucy, lived privileged, had a great life. Now we owe it to the next generation. Speaking of that, I was giving some advice. But what should the kids go into? You worked in automation. Well, I've only worked in automation a couple decades. And I will say this, advice to the next generation, go into something that's difficult for learning software to do. That's what you want to go into. That's the career that you need to look for. You go into something that somebody is already writing learning software to do. By the time you graduate, I guarantee you're going to live under New York City. You're going to live under Seattle. If learning software has trouble doing it, do not go into that career. I mean, if learning software doesn't have any trouble doing it, don't do that. It's a bad career. That career is not going to last. Second piece of advice, don't ever trust the politicians on the record. Don't ever trust the politicians on record. Don't ever trust them on record. Trust them off record. Don't trust them on record. On record, they'll never tell you what's true. They literally created the society to create the learning software to take all these jobs. Okay, well, what's a good example of a job learning software has trouble doing? I put those two together for a reason. There is nothing you do that learning software can't do better. Nothing. Now that you have the hardware that's stronger than you, and you have learning software that can do complex problem solving, you don't need AI. Learning software can do every single job we got out there. You need to go into something that you love, and you need to deal with this government that created an uncivilized society that's tuning everybody off tune, making them mentally ill while they work the corporations to take everybody's job and push us into the next apocalypse. Do what you love. The future is going to be one of two things. Either we're all going to be dead, or and we're waiting for the next Yuga to come around for the human race to start again, or everyone's going to be free doing the things that they love. You grow cow poop. Well, cow poop's necessary, Lucy. You're supposed to grow that. Robots can do that one too, I think. Detox the parasites from your gut. Absolutely, Michael Mendoza. If you're going to drink coffee, make sure it's organic. And this is not organic, but but I don't get sick, so I can play that game. Nobody pays for my health care but me, so I'm good to go. But you got to detoxify. You got to detoxify. If you don't detoxify, so the way that I understand this one, Michael, is it's not that the bacteria in your body, in the vast majority, isn't even human, right? Or the vast majority of cells in your body, they're not even human. They're just bacteria, they're just flora and fauna. They take up space, they take up resources. And as long as you have lots of bacteria that are living within your body, they're taking up resources, nothing else can get root. Like parasites have trouble. Anaerobic bacteria, things that can cause problems and diseases, they have trouble because there's no energy. There's nothing free, there's nothing left. And so when you eat pesticides and you drink herbicides and all of the crap that they have and all of this, your body is killing off bacteria. A lot of these things are antibacterial. It doesn't kill you, but it kills off a lot of bacteria in your body, which leaves a lot of open vacancy. It's like a gentrification. Spraying pesticide on everybody's food and shopping at the grocery store, it's like gentrification in your body. You're basically wiping out all the gut and the flora and fauna all over your body, not just in your gut. And so the next time that somebody comes around, who's that? Next time you see Amanda Boudreaux in the cereal aisle and she's walking past, you walking up the other way and she has to. And she spray all that stuff around. You breathe it in, goes in your eyes, your ears, everything. Next time you get on the airplane and you turn on that overhead air, who is that? Amy, and Amy is on the airplane, Amy Deal. You know, she had a little sniffles or whatever. Next time that happens, it's gonna blow right in your body. They'll take root, the virus take root and have plenty of room to spread. So you absolutely want to stay as natural as possible and don't put things in your body that kill off your flora and fauna. Drink more okra juice. That is completely fake news, Shelly Musgrove. Do not drink okra juice. Don't put it nowhere near your garden. Don't put it nowhere. Okra has a purpose, and that's out to be way out there in the woods. you can't see the woods. We're supposed to be way out there, so the deer and the buffalo and the monkeys and the things, they ain't got nothing better to eat. That's where it is. That's where it's supposed to be, way over there. But don't let it get in your garden. Oh no, don't let that slug, because somebody might put it on your plate. Don't do that. That's for the scarce creatures. Us creatures that ain't scarce, we can eat delicious things. All right, pagans only want to worship and live with the earth. That's it, Hillary. The pagans were never bad people. The pagans were always good people. The pagans and barbarians left everybody alone. They was like this tribe right here. They like Key's tribe. They just wanted to chill, eat some grubs, sit around the fire. Let me show you. Sit around the fire, hang out, eat some mushrooms, smoke some pipes. You know, they were largely peaceful. They didn't have military industrial complexes. They didn't have tanks and weapons of war. And one day, damn gods came around. Here you go right here. Damn gods. Yes, I said the damn little G guys, not the big one. I don't say nothing about the big one. The little ones come around, drop that bottle. They leave that piece of technology in the tomb. And it ruins everything. Ruins everything. But the pagans were never bad, but they lied to us. They lied to us and say, oh, we need to help the pagans and we need to bring them little G Christ. Let me be careful with that. Hang on. I don't know what to do with that yet. I'm confused when it comes to the Christ consciousness. I'll be honest with y'all. I reread the book of Judas and it's just, It's just a lot of weird things we don't understand yet. A lot of scriptures have been changed, and Judas basically said that the other 12 disciples was crazy as hell, and they made up a whole lot. And he and Christ, they were a little closer than everybody else, and they actually planned a lot of this. And that they were worshiping a pagan god. I forgot the name of it. There's a whole lot in the book of Judas. And did anybody read it? Because then Christ told him, because Christ asked, well, does anybody know from whence I came? And all the disciples got it wrong, and Judas got it right. And he said, Mabble Bobble? I don't know. I forgot the name of it. Some place. He came from Mabble Bobble. Some dimension or something. Did anybody read the book of Judas? Where did Christ come from? I'm going to go look at that up real quick. I'm going to look it up. It got me here lying about Mabble Bobble. I said, he said Christ came from, I didn't listen. All I know is we're never told the truth. And that name, anyway, somebody probably changed, flipped, script, cultural appropriated, made it a nice name that they like. Where did Judas say Christ came from? Judas said Christ came from. That's why I like Ecosia. Ecosia is awesome. You could just type anything in there and booyah! It's not like the Encyclopedia Britannica. But Christ agreed with him, like, yeah, that's where he came from. That's where I came from. He needed to go back. He didn't want to stay. In the book of Judas, he said he came from, I like scripture. You should read scripture. You guys got to read scripture. Do not throw away your history. Your history is so important. All right, I don't see it. It was somewhere in here. Anywho, I'm not even sure why I'm on that. But the book of Judas is important. You got to get all perspectives. Always get all perspectives. Yeah, I don't see it. But that Christ came from somewhere. Not that he was an alien, but that he wasn't from here. That was the most important part. And he didn't want to stay. He was ready to go. He was ready to go. Good morning, Sharon and Amy. Sending loves. Love right back at you, sis. Actually, we should be sending all the old people to war that want war. Not our young people. You know what, Sharon? My perspective on that is I like the draft. I think the draft should come back. In America, not anywhere else, but in America. I think if you register to vote, you have to register to fight. That's what I think. I think that's because I came from a military family and I believe in 22 a day. And I think if everybody of every age, of every gender, of every preference that wants to vote to utilize what's stolen from other nations for walls and healthcare, and like they want to take that blood money and do positive, happy things with it, I think they all should go fight. I don't think it should be the poor kids. I don't think it should be the kids who are just born and got nothing else to do. They can't go to college. Daddy and ran off. Mama's on meth, the crack or whatever, and they had no other choice. And so they had to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and either join a gang or go fight in a war. I don't think the poor kids should fight for the apathetic people who are voting, who are afraid to fight. I don't think y'all should be cowards. I think if you are brave enough to post on the 2020 war criminals, I think you should take up a gun and go do some fighting. That's what I think. But I believe in fair fights too. I don't believe in like fake fight. I don't believe in the cowardly fights of like fighting behind technology. If you're a real warrior and you really believe in the things that you believe in, you should be willing to fight an equal fight. We never did this as kids. We never had military industrial complexes as children. We weren't cowards. All right. 3 o'clock came, you stepped on that bully's K-Swiss. Well, damn it, it's going to go down. Yeah, he might be a little bigger. She might be a little bigger. But you know what? Hey, I'm a man. Not with a man like 8. But that's okay. Sometimes you got to take a beat down, sometimes you don't. But you never went and got a gun. You never went to your military industrial complex and got a knife. You never did that stuff. You handled your business. And sometimes you got beat down, sometimes you didn't. And the neat thing when you were just using fists and putting people's face in the mud and pushing kids in lakes and stuff, usually by the next day, y'all be friends. And if it wasn't by the next day, at least took about a week later, y'all be friends. And that's how I think things should go. I don't think we should be cowards and hide behind technology. I think a child that picks up the gun to shoot another child instead of take a beat down or beat them down or whatever, I think there is as lost as a military industrial complex. I think there's lost as the Democrats and Republicans. But the child don't understand. The child don't understand. The child is the child. Okay, the child doesn't have a frontal lobe. The child doesn't have a frontal what is that? A cerebral cortex. Not till they're 26. So I understand why children want to pick up a gun and knife. They shouldn't. But I understand why they would want to, and I can understand their thought processes. But why somebody over the age of 26 would agree to send poor children to go fight, to steal resources and murder other people so they can get some health care or a wall or universal basic income boggles my mind. Boggles my mind. We got to grow up, people. We're not growing up. So I like the draft. I like it. I am all for the draft for voters. I will not be voting. I will not be in that draft. I don't believe in killing people to get a bottle. I don't believe in killing people for oil. I don't believe in killing people for minerals because I don't believe in killing people. I read that Bible and I actually believe the thou shalt not kill part. It's not thou shalt not kill unless my president says so. It's not thou shalt not kill unless they make me sad. It's not thou shalt kill unless it seems like a good idea on the news because they hold back information. It said thou shalt not kill. I'm not allowed to. It's against my religion. I can't fight for you no matter what you want. You know, I can't steal from you and I can't fight. I can't murder nobody for you. I don't care if you're Democrats and Republicans. If it's a hell, and I think we're kind of in hell, but if it's a hell, boy, you better get yourself some gravity boots that are fire retardant. All right. So yeah, I like the drafts. Who's that, Sharon? I like the sound of the draft. I just think people who are willing to spend what it takes people who are willing to spend the booty, the loot from murdering other people, they should be willing to go fight for it. It should be equal fight. I'm all for the fight. I'm all for equal fights. I'm not for you hiding behind technology because you stole it from some ancient culture or you had a better military industrial complex. I believe in the code of the warriors. I think you should be a warrior. When we were 8, we had codes of the warrior. And we never let a fight go on too far. You know, that's the weird thing about today. When I know how kids are broke. This is how I know we're not civilized. This is an uncivil society because we don't tune the frequency of children. We don't tune them to be smarter and better. I'm sorry. This is and it's not the kids' fault. It's not the kids' fault. But when we were kids, we never let you beat anybody to a pulp. That never happened. No matter how much we didn't like you. We were all little gangs of kids on this side and that side, and I like you because you like He-Man and you like that, and but y'all like Transformers. We all had we had our nations. We all had different nations. But as much as we didn't like you, you like to play football, we like to play basketball, y'all they like soccer over there and kickball. You know, as much as we divided up, we were still a community. We were still in elementary school. It boggles me that elementary school children are significantly smarter than political parties. It just blows my mind. You know, even though we were in conflict with one another, we wouldn't let you beat each other to a pulp. Like if y'all got aggressive and somebody stepped on someone's Air Jordan, somebody stole something, we'd let you fight. But we wouldn't let you beat somebody into a regime change. Hell no. We wouldn't let you beat till we saw blood, it was over. You know, Tyrone and Mike over there and me and Bobo, we'd go grab you and break you up. You know, because we were all still a part of an elementary school. We were still part of the earth. We were still all human beings, even though we were divided up because of Hanna-Barbera and cartoons. But do you see what I'm saying? All right. Why would we send anybody into war, young or old? Well, Shelley's because we like things. We like convenience. We're lazy. And we like lights and power, and we don't realize it's a UFO flying on television, and that's a free energy device. And so we're okay with robbing and stealing other people and pushing our religion to the side that we beat everybody over the head with, everybody else. So we can be big, fat, lazy, Western people. I gotta make sure I keep saying Western because it's not just America. Oh, and that brings up another, speaking of being big, fat, and lazy. So I had a great Christmas. I had a great Thanksgiving. I put on too many pounds. I got a question for the Republicans. Are y'all here? Did y'all invite the Republicans? Because I've been working, I've been doing my squats, and I'm gonna be honest with you, my butt is feeling pretty good right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel the side, I got that divot coming back because I've been getting rid of that apple pie. The apple pie made it fluff out a little bit. I'm feeling good, but the Republicans, they're y'all experts on that. Does this make me gay if I go like this? I don't know, it's weird thoughts that come through my head in the morning because I know cannabis makes you gay, but I like the feel of my butt. I caught myself like I was feeling my butt this morning like, oh yeah, boom! Ah! I was liking that. Yeah, it's not shaking like it used to. It had that apple pie and the bagels and stuff I done had at Thanksgiving. Does that mean I'm gay? Because they like to know, they like to tell you what things mean. And I don't know. That's just a question. I don't know. Silly stuff come to my mind. I feel like I'm in a zombie apocalypse. Silly things come up, and they like to tell people what gay means and what genders are and this, that, and the other and whatever. And I just think people crazy as all hell. I'm working on it. I still got work to do, y'all. It was a great Christmas. Anybody y'all got them resolutions? They still working out for you? Is that working out? Ooh, go on, see Susan Jewell. The body is an ecosystem. Yes, it is. The body is an ecosystem. Eco in the system. Put ecological things in your system. Do not put Twinkies and donuts and bagels and all the things that I just told you about over Christmas that made my butt swell up like a balloon. Don't do that. Don't do that. Men's butts not supposed to jiggle. It's not. Or maybe it is. I'm not going to be Republican. I ain't going to tell y'all, but the Democrats like to tell you too. We got to spread it around. Spread it around. The Democrats and Republicans have engineered this uncivilization together. They held hands, took the money from big corporations. Please don't start on the Bernie stuff. Don't do that. Please don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Why are you always posting on saving the world? Well, why are you always posting on blowing up the world with your 2020 war criminals that took money? But you know what the great thing? Well, I'm not going to now. Let me leave it alone. I ain't going to touch that. The indoctrination is working well. Still division by design. Absolutely, Rebecca. And it's designed that way. It works out really great. It's an ingenious system. You divide everybody up. You indoctrinate them. You make them crazy as hell. And you put them in conflict with other poor people so nobody blames the bank. Absolutely, Rebecca. That's how the system works. And it works well. Keep us alive, being a bit crazy. Yeah, well, let me see. Well, they like to keep us alive, Christine, and they like us crazy as hell. They do. They don't do the tuning thing. They don't hit that tuning fork. You know, the government's supposed to tune the frequency called the human being. They don't do that. They need people a little crazy and stupid. That way, they can control people easier. Absolutely, Hillary, we are a microbiome. Absolutely. Make sure your micro is all biomed up and eating healthy, organic things. Absolutely. No bagels. Hell no, Jack. You don't put them bagels in your mouth, girl. Don't do it. Don't do it. And don't ask me what I ate this morning for breakfast, but don't do it. Don't do it. It's got gluten. It's got gluten. That's gliadin protein. Maybe if we go back to growing natural wheats, this seems like it's becoming a health discussion. But yeah, it's got the gluten and gliadin. Your body has no idea what gliadin is. That's what cows eat. It's a grass. They went long time ago, way back one day at band camp. Somebody decided that wheat that only grows to be a foot tall, they couldn't make enough money on it. They live in a capitalistic system. They need to make as much money as possible, so they bred it with a tall grass that grows to be 6 feet. That tall grass had the gliadin protein in it. So now all the modern wheat that's in your bagels and your donuts and ho-hos and all of those things, it's got that gliadin protein. The minute it goes in your body has to fight it. And this is where the whole gluten conversation comes from. So yeah, no bagels. No bagels. You're not loving nobody by taking bagels to the office. You're not going to do that. You're going to make them gay. I'm sorry. I'm playing. Who was that who said that the cannabis makes you gay? I thought that was so funny. Y'all so special. They so special. And people believe that stuff too. No, gay people been here since the beginning of time. All right. God made people gay for a reason. That's all I'm gonna say. You can figure out that reason for yourself, but God doesn't make, Big G God doesn't make no trash. This is an ecosystem. It all works together. Trust what God allows. These are all scriptures. That's why y'all got to read your scriptures. It's always good to put scriptures in people's faces who don't actually read the Bibles. They like to beat you over the head with their Bibles and their Qurans. I love scripture. So important. Where's the deer and the antelope play? Oh, yes, where the deer and the antelope play. That's exactly where it is. Good morning, Tiffany. Christ is in the house. Speaking of God, Gangsta McQueen is in the house. Bethlehem, Mary's womb. What? Nazareth. Well, Bethlehem was in Palestine. That's where Jesus grew up. That's where the Zionists are blowing up Jesus town, where Jesus grew up. And I don't think Jesus gonna like that when he come back. I don't think if Yeshua come back and he see y'all dropping bombs and blowing up temples and stuff, he's not gonna be too happy. You better hope he's not feeling Old Testament Gotti. If he is, boy, you better run. That's not even gonna be a zombie apocalypse when little G gods come back and they see you blowing up his old, like Jesus might come down land in Bethlehem, like, hey, I had to come back, check the old neighborhood out. See that up the street, that's where Miss Jackson, she used to make the bagels and the ho-hos. They put the little rice cakes together over there. What why are half the buildings all blown up and destroyed and all kind of dead people laying around? You better hope Jesus don't come back. Jesus come back, man. I know y'all think that y'all working on rebuilding the temple and you're trying to help things and you're gonna bring Christ back. You're gonna bring back Christ back with some lightning. Bad idea, bad idea. We fought so hard against the draft and thought we had a victory when they ended it. Ooh, they knew better though. It just made people disconnected from their wars that still continue. Yes, Sharon, that's what they did. They stopped the draft because the rich kids had to go. They didn't like that. No, they just want the kids from the trailer park go and the ghetto and the barrio. But you bring the draft back and you make these people that just know everything, Sharon. Oh, they know everything. They ain't got it figured out all over the internet, just in the comment sections. Oh, they know what they're going to do, how they're going to do, what they're going to do it to, what Assad is up to, what Putin said, and Xi Jinping, and we're going to give it to him, we're going to this. And I'm like, who is this we? We going to give Xi Jinping what? What we going to give him? And by we, who you mean? You mean the poor children. The poor children who are scarce enough that they had to join the military and go fight for you so you can just yell in comment sections. The poor children that are trying to tell us 22 a day. They're literally committing suicide at 22 a day. I can't really talk about it, Sharon, because I do. That's when they start shutting channels down. That's when they start deleting pages and censoring. So I can't really go into it too deep. Just listen to the children. Listen to the children. If you ain't willing to go kill people, it's like with hunting and meat. I'm the same way with hunting and meat. If you're not willing to go grow your own food and kill your meat, grow it, whatever, fall in love with it and serve it up in some soup, then, I don't know. I'm more on the side of the hunters than the grocery store grazers. I think the hunters, they're more in contact with what the food is. I know that gets people upset. They don't like to hear it, but it's just real talk. It's just real talk. If you are connected with what your food is, then you want happy food. You want cows that graze happily, and chickens that somebody loved and they live free and they got that happy energy, not that abused, aggressive energy. Grocery stores are killing people and they're raising the cost of healthcare. And then you want universal health care, so you want to go kill other people as opposed to go hunt your own food or raise some other or buy from a local farmer or something. I'm not into telling people what to do, so I don't tell meat eaters not to eat. I just tell people just do your research and don't eat things that abuse your temple. Don't eat things that abuse your body, and they can make their own decisions. I don't believe in the narcissistic politics of telling other people what to do. That's narcissistic and it's political. Just give people information, let them make their own minds up in their own time. That pineal gland, a lot of things can stop it from opening up. So just think about that. You had to face down bullies at some point. Yes, Mags, you did. You had to face down the bullies at some point in time. And it taught you how to be smart. Taught you how to be a problem solver. We didn't have this anti-bullying thing back when we were kids. We learned how to talk to people, and we always had limits to what we would go. Right, Megs? Like, I talk about your mama. I talk about your daddy. Your mama so fat, your daddy so stupid, blah, 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 blah. But something happened, your mama died, or something happened, the daddy lose his job, and you a little bigger than me, then I had limits to where I'd go. I knew that wasn't just a fight. That's a beat down coming. Like we had limits. We had limits. People nowadays ain't got no damn limits. Like, we will murder you and everybody in your country for your coltan. That's just the low negative vibe nonsense that we learned in elementary school that not to have. There are always limits. We had filters. People don't have that. We were more conscious in elementary school than these kids nowadays. I mean, than the governments nowadays, the political parties. Let's see. Damn right, Brother Tony's in the house. They taught how to be a slave. They taught how to be slaves, not gods. This is real talk, Tony. These are gods and goddesses. You are a god and goddess. If you continue to vote for a government that doesn't even give you the respect of a human being, doesn't even give you human rights, doesn't do anything for you and respect you as a monkey, a 98% monkey, but you are really a god and goddess, and you keep giving it more power, really bad things are gonna happen. That's just a bad idea. People in your life, if you won't marry somebody, Tony, that respects you as a person, Why in the hell would you vote for a government that didn't even respect you to have a life? How crazy is that? I don't understand. Then half the time Tony can't even post videos. You were in prison this weekend. He's in prison this weekend. Facebook prison. Because he's trying to tell people that. And people are reporting them. That's why I'm all for the draft, Tony. We get the draft going and people have to go to war and fight for the wars that they vote for. You could be on Facebook all week and wouldn't nobody be reporting Tony. They'd be in Iraq, Afghanistan. They'd be out there, in equal fight too. I'm gonna give you a camel and a hook. I'll give you a camel and a shepherd's hook. Now get out there and fight and show us what you got. Go get that oil. But leave people on Facebook alone. Oh my gosh, we are so special. Just expect that if a female bully, just expect that if it's a female bully, her next move is to cry. Well, Patricia, that's not totally true. That's not totally true. I hadn't had a female bully before. She didn't cry. Patricia, she didn't cry at all. Let me tell you, I'm going to defend myself for a minute though. Girls, they grow a little faster than what we do. And this particular female, my friend, had taught her how to box. We had some challenges, but she didn't cry. I didn't cry neither. I didn't cry. I didn't win. I didn't do too well in that one, Patricia. But they gave me a respect early on. Like my grandmama and my mama. The other women used to beat the hell out of me. It's good to, but I outgrew her. I outgrew the bully later. I outgrew her and I could have beat her down, but it's too late. At that point I learned that you're not ever supposed to touch me. Not ever supposed. There's no excuse. Let me make sure this is clear. Because I got a lot of bodybuilding women that could beat the hell out of me today. Probably. Perhaps. I don't know. I would never find out. Because you ain't never supposed to touch a woman. You're not supposed to do that. That's just completely unacceptable in every single circumstance. No man ever lays a hand on a woman. But this is not true. Hang on. I gotta change that now. No man will hit a woman. If you hit a woman, you are not a man. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Now you hold a woman. You hold them. You got to, because sometimes you got to hold them before you run. sometimes Tony, you got to hold them before the police get there. You got to hold them, sit on them, but don't ever hit them. Because I grew up and I said, I can take you now. I can take you. I didn't grew up and hit my growth phase, but anyway. All right, so you're anti-war but pro-draft. Sure, that makes sense. Well, did I explain it, Patricia, or did I gotta explain that one again? I'm not anti-war. I'm not anti-war. Let me make sure I say it the right way. I'm anti-violence. I am anti-violence in every single way possible. Hitting somebody with a ho-ho, a donut, a Twinkie, a gun, a military industrial complex. I'm anti all of that. But my point is, if you were big and bold enough, you can pull up your panties and your big drawers enough that you want to send children to go fight for you, then you need to go pick up a gun, a sword, a knife, and go do it too. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Because this is where we are in our state of consciousness and evolution. Like, there's us as a whole, and then there's the us divided energy experiential thing. And how my energy is divided up, it's anti-war. But if the people who believe in war, then they should be able to go do the war. And I think that fixes things, Patricia. Because they're not going to go fight. They'll yell and scream in comment sections, but they won't go fight. Because they're not fighters, they're cowards. That's why they pull levers. They're not willing to go. They just want the spoils from the war. All the wars would come to an end immediately if you had a draft. You had to go do the fighting yourself. Instead of little kids are going to do it for you. And especially if it was equal. People fight wars to win. Governments fight the wars because they think they can win. Any government that has higher technology and more murder tech than another will always fight wars. Like I said, AI, it's not a if, it's a when. Assuming we don't already have it. And I think we already have it. Terminator, it's not an if, it's a when. Unchanged. These things are required. And when they're done murderizing everybody in Syria and China and Russia, when they're done, they're going to take all that murder weapons and do the same thing they did with the weapons after the Saudi Arabia war or after the Iraq war. They're going to sell them to your local police department. And all that murder tech's going to be facing right at you. What's good for the goose is always good for the gander. This is how it's happened since the beginning of time. The king learned how to use Greek fire. He burned the hell out of the neighbors because the stupid monkeys and went to go fight the pagans with him and came back and he burned his monkeys at home. That's just how it goes. They always use that war tech against their citizens. The crossbow, the same thing, the bow, the sword, the dagger. Every time they make a new technology, Shaka Zulu with his knife, the Comanches, they all do it. Anything that and that's a good thing about how all of this works. It's like anything you're willing to vote for to do to somebody else, it will almost always come home and be done to you or your kids or your grandkids. You know, karma is a mother. It's a mother, and it teaches. Earth is not the mother. Karma is the mother. Earth doesn't really care. Earth doesn't really care what you do. I don't talk about climate change, but Earth doesn't really care. Karma is the mother. Karma is the teacher. You know, everything that you deploy will be deployed on you. So that's why I'm that's why I'm for it, Patricia, because I think it'll help people. I think it'll teach them. I think when they come home and start contemplating suicide, at that point they'll realize war is where's low vibe Susan? It's just a low vibe. It's a low vibe, and usually it's cheered for by the cowards who aren't willing to go do it themselves, but they just want some nice things for Christmas, and so they want other people to go do it for them. When kids get in trouble, the youth court bring the military in and tells them how much money and travel and fun. Yes. Ooh, this is true. This is true, Jackie. The recruiters come in. When I ask them about going to actual combat, they tap dance so quick, acted like that rarely happens. Yeah, well, Jackie, and I appreciate that. Ooh, there was a good picture this weekend. Did you see that picture? Let's see if I can find that real quick. There was a great meme that showed that. You know, and this is what, you know, and this is not an anti-recruiter thing. I know recruiting. A lot of people who are lost in this nonsense, but they'll go to the kids and they'll let them try on the equipment, and they'll let them hold this and that, and they'll cheer it up. They got the Humvees and play the rock and roll and whatever, and they kind of sexify war. They try to make it sexy. You know, the best way to combat that, Jackie, is the conflict. And, you know, ask the recruiter, because the recruiters aren't going to lie to you. They're not going to lie to you. Let me show you this while I'm running my mouth. The recruiters aren't going to lie to you. You just ask them, say, are there wars for freedom and democracy? So we want to teach children discipline by sending them to go murder people. How does that make any sense in your head? Are any of the wars because the troops don't lie. They're like politicians. On record, they'll lie. Off record, they'll tell you the truth. Ask these military. I grew up in a military family. Just ask people off record. Same thing with your politicians. You want to know how the world really works? Just ask them off record. This was good, but this is not what I wanted to show you. This was you can't really see it. This is truth. This is real talk here. Bankers want war so they can lend money at interest to both sides. Every war since the Napoleonic Wars was funded by the same banks. These Rothschild, Rockefeller banks, they've always been involved in funding both sides of war. The defense contractors, they want war so they can sell armaments to both sides. The governments want war so the bankers and corporations keep them employed in power. War is big business. War people in boot camp. Sure, you can teach a kid to train them in boot camp. But it's a trap. Now the wars are endless, so everybody's going to war. They're manufactured by the elites, not by the enemy rivals, right? But see, these are great understandings that people grapple with because they don't understand that the television is lying to them. You know, these are grown people who still believe the damn television. And half the time, as bad as that sounds, you get in these debates on the internet, you sometimes need to break it down to that point and explain to them, like, you're a little too old to believe in the television. you know, the Jetsons was on TV. You know, you believe that? I believe that. You know, you're a little too old to believe in the television. How old are you? You 62? You really believe? Oh, you know what? That takes me to the next post. This was Ron Swanson. I miss Ron every damn day. If y'all didn't watch Parks and Rec, hang on. That's not what I wanted to show you. Here we go. If y'all don't watch Parks and Rec, you should watch it. This is Ron Swanson. He worked in the government. He told you how the government worked. Hang on, let me see if I can. This thing ain't acting right at all. Right here, look, it's Ron Swanson. So she was asking him a question. She fine as hell. Who was? Hang on. This was and it's Quincy Jones' daughter. Quincy Jones' daughter. Yeah, I think she already married though, so you know. I can't ruin her life. I asked the question. Said, do you have any history, family? You have any family history of mental illness? I got to change this right here. Brother Ron, because he always tells the truth. He ain't never lied. He ain't never lied. He answered the question. He said, my uncle thinks the government works for the people. In the 2020s and this, that, what we gonna do? We gonna stop the wars, we're gonna love the people, universal basic income, blah, 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 blah. The government works for the people. The government's there for us. They're designed, and we the people, and we vote, and we tell them what to do. Right now, we don't tell them what to do. That's the damn television. Listen, if you believe the boob tube, you are a boob. It literally is a tube that makes boobs. It's not a tube no more. Now it's a flat screen. But it's a digital signal that just lies to you all the time. I miss Brother Ron all the time. Hang on. I wanted to show you because Sister Sharon who's that? Sharon or Jackie? Talking about the kids. Did I post that on my, I don't know, I posted on my page or if it was, but no, this is related too. This is related. Yeah, I spent a whole lot of time with the war posts because we need to stop. War is the greatest way to erase history, right? It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. Is that the whole thing gonna show up? A normal human being in war is terrified and broken by it. Look at his hands, clenching in panic of a child, his bladder releasing in terror of war. You see, war is not natural, it's not normal for human beings to slaughter each other at the bidding of psychopathic leaders who send boys and others to lands to kill and die, all for lies on their own profit, on the power of people who vote for it. That's the only thing I'd add to that. Because yeah, the psychopathic leaders send them, but every psychopath has followers. They're empowered. Somebody gave them the power. That's why I don't believe in voting. I don't believe in the leverage. Who's that? Paul Brady? Absolutely, brother. Direct democracy. I'm all for direct democracy. I'm all for giving people the power to decide their future. It's better than what we got today. And hopefully they discover some sovereignty. I wanted to show you this picture. Ooh, I guess I posted that much again this weekend. Oh, somebody didn't like that. Who didn't like that? I don't want direct democracy. I made my representative government to represent me. I know that's Rebecca trying to have fun. Absolutely. Hang on, wait. All right, I can't find it. No, it was a good picture of. It looks like there were some recruiters in the elementary school trying to show kids how sexy war is, letting them try on equipment. I can't find it, so I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna read comments and I gotta get out of here. For fudge sakes, I would not be more pragmatic to just have the leaders who plan war for the sake of capitalism fight each other in a cage match. Ooh, we'd save a whole lot of time, money, and resources. Yes, Miss Tree. That happened. That actually happened. Who was that wise civilization that did it? It was either the Mayans or the Aztecs. I forgot who. They'd send the kings to go fight each other. I'd love to see that. You go ahead and put Trump in a rink with Putin and Xi Jinping and May and Merkel and Bernie Sanders and Obama, and just put them all in the cage match. I don't even think we need to just do modern leaders. I think you just put them all in there. Shake a bag of Congress in there, put the Senate in there. But some of those are women. And listen, if you can vote for war, you can send children to go fight and die in your stead. You can fight in the politician cage match. So shake them all in there. Put them all in there. I don't care if they're 72, 74, been in Congress for 8. I don't care how long they've been there. Put them all in that ring. And put like 2 knives. Put 2 knives, some paper watts, and some spike balls. Put 1 lion, some tabby cats, and let them all just fight it out. I agree with that. I think that would be great. That'd be fan. I'd watch that. You get me watching politicians at that point. I don't watch a damn thing right now. The only time I deal with politicians is off the record. Why? Because off the record, they say was true. Off the record, Bernie Sanders would be like, oh, this all some bull, y'all. It's all bull. I just be lying. I be lying. But y'all ain't got a choice. Bernie used to be a real dude, but that's not how the system works. Off record, Trump would be like, he'd turn off that twang like I grew up in the South. Nope, he grew up in the North. He was around from the South, but he lived in the North. He was a Democrat the whole damn time. They'd turn all that fake and lying stuff. They'd tell you the truth like, oh yeah, we all gonna die, y'all. You turn Obama, turn that Obama nonsense. He'd tell you the truth. Oh yeah, I went to go meet with Bush. Just before I won, they sat me down in the office with McCain and we all had that discussion. I always go back to that moment. Remember that moment when Obama lost his damn mind? Where he went to they suspended the campaign and he and McCain went to the White House and he went in against the banker bailouts and came out for the banker bailouts. Remember that? He was in the banks. That's who was in that meeting. The banks, and they showed him who actually runs things in this nation. So, listen, brother, they sat him I think this is how that meeting went. They sat him down and said, okay, listen, because Trump had the same meeting. Let me explain this how this works to you. Bernie will have the same meeting if y'all get him to win. Let me explain this how this works to you. In 1871, we bought your government, okay? You're not a government. We literally took the republic and sat it on its fanny. You are now a for-profit corporation and we own you. You will be an employee if we decide to hire you. No, the people don't vote for you. They can cast a vote all they want. You can't cast a vote for a janitor of the janitorial department called the United States of Incorporation. We tell you what to do. Now, you can get out there in this campaign and you get those people believing that the banker bailouts is a good idea. We got to save the little, medium, and small-sized banks because we, the central banks, run every damn thing. And we need to make sure that they stay afloat. And we could print the money and give it to them, but we don't want to do that. that breaks our conflict theory. Like, we have a gaming system. You are our gaming system. This is a monopoly game. The more we take from your people, the more they stay in struggle with everybody else. We are the untuning fork. We untune human beings' frequency and get them to be violent and aggressive. We need more people to join the skinheads and white nationalists. We need more people to join the Bloods and the Crips and MS-13. We need more Americans running crazy in the street, killing each other and living under New York City. As long as they stay in conflict with each other, good things will happen. And that's your job. Now get out there and go do it. And Obama went right out there and did it. This is the problem. You know, we think we run things and we don't run anything. The Bible is a historical document and should be used by truthers. Yes, exactly. And F the religion. And this is the point. Tony's saying truthful things, and this is why he keeps getting kicked off. So he keeps going to prison. You know, they're just historical documents. You need to read them. And the dogma, evolve your dogma. Evolve your dogma. See, Tony says it a different way. You say fudge religion. I just say evolve your dogma. I try to say things to people in a nice way. Let your dogma and your religion be like science. Let it evolve. As we discover new texts and find out new things, and you realize that King James modified a whole bunch of stuff, and he was a raper, a killer, a psychopath, and a pedophile, that maybe you should not take his edits to the scriptures. Maybe you should challenge some of his edits. All right. I kind of want to take it to the news and I want to get out of here. Brother Stephen's in the house. Let me see. What's that, Megs? The rich people's kids send the poor people's kids to war. Yes, they do, Megs. And then the rich people become poor in the future. They lose some money. They become poor, and then their kids got to go fight. That's how all this works. It always works that way. You might be rich. That doesn't mean your kid's going to be. That's why they have these wealth management stores, to try to keep the wealth in the family, because then their kids end up being the victims of the system that they propped up and made and kept. Good morning, Ivana. Let me see, Brother Tony, they taught how to be a slave. Oh, okay, I read that one. I'm sorry. And your greasy grandma. Okay, Hillary. I'm not. That was that was back from. I'm back in comments. That's when we were talking about as kids. We would say all kind of things, but if grandma died, we wouldn't say that. We actually had empathy as children. We were grown as children before we grew up, and they made us stupid and ignorant. But as children, we were evolved and conscious, and we understood and empathized. We had all that stuff because we used to watch Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers and Silver Spoons and all of these great shows, and Cosby, but he wouldn't be drugging women on that. He had Claire. You know, and so television actually back then, they just didn't perfect the system to make monsters. But now they've made monsters. But, you know, if you just think back to what we used to know, it's very easy. We used to be grown-ups, and now grown-ups are children. It teaches you to stand up for yourself and face your fears. You earn respect when you stand up. Yes, Mags, and that's why, you know, I think bullies are healthy for a growing society. Bullies are healthy, especially if your nation's a bully. If your nation's a bully, then, yeah, you should have bullies in your society. It teaches you to gang up and work together. That's what it teaches. It teaches you how to use your homework and your skill set and your knowledge as a nerd to make sure the bully doesn't beat up. Like, it teaches you how to live in a conflict-based system. But most importantly, it teaches you how to solve your own problems. I don't believe in bullyism. I don't believe in that. I just believe in let kids figure it out. You know, as long as it's not violent and aggressive, it's a great thing. But doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. And now these kids are super weak because we don't let anything scare them. It's good to have a little fear in your life. I don't get the benefits of my health insurance. Costs are outrageous. It's part of the price you pay for more freedom. It's worth it. Well, you know what, Megs, let me see, on health insurance. Well, so me on health insurance, first of all, we need to know what health is. That's my biggest problem. And most everybody I know in government about sick as a dog. They all got all kind of drugs and shots and botoxes and things that they get, and their brains ain't even right. They got all kind of mental illnesses. There are a couple few ones in government, not many of them. So they have no idea what health is. Most doctors I know, they smoke cigarettes, they drink a lot of beer, they're not sick, they get colds, flus, viruses, and all that stuff. So they're not authorities on health. I think authorities on health should dictate what health is. And once you dictate what health is, then you realize we really don't need much insurance when we have a society that talks about what health actually is and how to actually get it. And we don't have commercials that get people to buy stuff that make them sicker, that raise healthcare costs. We have governments that have projects of spraying things in the sky. Did y'all know that chemtrail cough is a thing? I didn't know it was a thing. But these people aren't on our sides. They literally subsidize the growing of corn, soy, genetically modified foods, which only designed is to have tons and tons of carcinogen pesticides put on them so chemical companies can make a lot of money. I don't think any of that's a good idea. I don't think people that poison your food are actually interested in your health, let alone should they be allowed to decide what healthcare is. Paul from the Bible, let me see, didn't like Jesus at all and hated women. Did he, Christine? I didn't read that part. I read the epistles. I read all of them. I didn't get that part. I know the thing that really made Paul upset. Now, I remember when he was Saul, he didn't like nobody. But then he became Paul. That problem, that he got that problem in his life. He became blind and he became Paul. And then at that point, he only hated the churches. He didn't like the churches at all. Oh, he wrote them letters. That's who Paul is in the Bible. He wrote all them letters, tell them that they should not have mega churches, told them that they should not have gold altars, that they shouldn't have homeless people outside their churches, that they should stop pushing people away who are LGBTQ, because you ain't got no damn idea that God doesn't make nothing ain't perfect. Paul wrote all these. This is what Paul would write today. If Paul was around today, Paul wouldn't be writing no letters. Oh, did y'all see they got Philly Jesus? They even put him in prison. They got Philly Jesus. Yep, they didn't put him in prison. I don't know if he went to prison, but the church arrested him. If Paul was around today, Paul would be Philly Jesus probably. Paul would be over there telling them, you're stupid, you're crazy, you're voting for war. We ain't got nothing to do with politics. Government's the exact opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. We don't believe in none of this. You can't have laws over free will creatures. It's the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. If Paul was around today, I think Paul would explain to people that you went too far with this legislative nonsense. I think Paul would explain that free will and law are the exact opposites. You can't have forced rule and police states over creatures that your God designed to have be free will. You literally can't have government and politics. It's gone too far. I think if Paul were around today, Paul would say that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Doesn't really matter if you got a cross hanging around your neck. You send children to go die and murder other people's children for years, so you can build bigger churches that it's gonna come visit you. But I think these are just real truthful, honest things. Like, how's that saying go? If the only tool you have is a hammer, then every problem has to look like a nail. If the only tool you have is a government, politics, if that's the only tool you have, then every problem has to look like somebody stole your bananas. It literally has to look that way. It looks like somebody did something to you. You literally have to be a victim. Like, this whole idea of politics is based in victimism. Somebody did something. You need to rob somebody. You gotta rob Peter to pay Paul. It's all narcissistic and crazy and sociopathic. So there is that. But that's why you have television. Is to make people think that they're victims, to make them think it's a good idea to go rob somebody else. Iraq stole something from you. Your oil is in Iraq. Somebody in Afghanistan took your opium. All All right, what we got here? Oh, I heard about this. Assange and Trump, a bargain to pardon. I heard about this. He gonna pardon him? To me, I'll tell you. And I hope I'm wrong. I think it just has to do.
Hey there, I'm Trinity Chavez, and you're watching.
I don't think the banker signed off on
In-depth
that.
reports, exclusive interviews, and controversial issues you may have missed during the week on RT America. On our playlist today on Larry King Now, American actor and comedian Danny Pudi sits down with Larry to discuss how his unique lineage led him to comedy. Then on the news with Rick Sanchez, Michelle Greenstein gives you an inside look at the coronavirus epicenter and why Wuhan, China is being called a ghost city. And on The World According to Jesse, guest host Jimmy Dore and Brigida Santos talk about a peace agreement that could end America's longest running war. Let's get started.
First to bring you this story.
Big ramp up. I want to get right to the point.
When you grew up with a Polish mother and a Polish grandmother, you spoke Polish in the house, right?
Naprawdę, tak.
Know who he is, and I can tell you this: he's committed to working to win this race and doing whatever it takes financially to get there.
Other areas of politics. Why do you...
Question, because I don't know who Bloomberg is. I know he has something to do with banks in New York or something. That name comes to mind, but I guess he's running to be slave master of the plantation, if I'm not mistaken. And once again, it's the same Bernie answer. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what he knows. I don't really care what he knows. He does not have a Pentagon. He doesn't have trillions of dollars to offset the billionaires and trillionaires that actually run this country. So he's not changing anything for the better. He literally will be utilized to roll out whatever the banks decide. We are a for-profit organization. The only thing that will happen will be what's for profit. It's profitable to have people who live under these cities. So I guess that's who Bloomberg is. I don't know what he's talking about, and I honestly don't care. Our problems are systemic. They're at a system level. None of our problems are at a politician level. None of them. I want to see what he's promising on
Zen, the technology manufacturing hub that borders Hong Kong, almost 600 miles away from Wuhan. The streets are relatively quiet. These images, which were taken last Tuesday, show barren main roads and empty schools, with people only now slowly returning to their normal working schedules.
like a zombie apocalypse.
Footage posted to Telegram last week appears to show a man arriving at work. He has his temperature read, is told to dispose of his mask in a garbage can, is given hand sanitizer and a new mask before being allowed to sign in, get credentialed, get another dose of hand sanitizer, and finally go to work.
Don't complain about that.
States ask a lot.
Oh, that's horrible. No, it's not. You wait till it comes to America. Coming to America. You wait till the cocoa virus gets here. They didn't have assault rifles. You didn't see that. They didn't have MRAP tanks. China doesn't have all the Gulf War military weapons at the local police departments. They don't have that. China is not a police state. We are. You wait till that comes here. You don't have to worry about crying about China. These boots were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And when the cocoa virus gets here, your government's gonna walk all over you.
A lot of these tech giants like Apple and Facebook, for example, to build these backdoors, they, however, have said no. Is this kind of about this subject, to clarify what he said, that he floated the idea of a pardon to Julian, but that his pardon idea did not come from Trump, that he thought this up himself in hopes of enticing Julian to come out publicly to affirm that Russia was not the source of the leak, but that he never asked Julian to lie about any of it, that he simply wanted to put Russiagate to rest. What do you make of the congressman's clarifications?
Well, it's a bizarre story, this. First, President Trump claims that he's scarcely heard of this man, and then, of course, his relentless tweeting catches up with him, and he appears to have sent out a flurry of supportive tweets for a man he now claims scarcely to know. Equally, for this man to ask Julian to do something, i.e. state that Russia was not the source of the Democratic Party information from the DNC, is equally bizarre, because Julian had said 10 months before, unequivocally, that this information did not come from a Russian hack. Indeed, that it did not come from any state actor. So the congressman was asking Julian to do something he had already done 10 months before.
All right, I'm confused though. Hold on. What does Trump have to do with this? Is this one of his cronies or buddies or something? Because this is what I thought. I mean, you know, it makes sense to offer up these bargains and talk this way because it's an election year. That makes sense. I don't know anything about this Russiagate nonsense. I think that if you actually want to pardon Julian Assange, maybe you pardon him because 5 million people have died since 9/11. I think that's a good idea to pardon him. To end Russiagate, I don't think that's a pardon. Only a fool believes in Russiagate anyway. Only a fool believes that Russia had anything to do with the influencing the American election. That's some nonsense. That's all bullshit. Only a fool believes that Russia was the source. We know Seth Richard. We know where these things came from. Common sense. If you actually read, write, and got a brain in your head, you know what actually was going on. You know, so yeah, I don't know anything about that. And yeah, no, it is the cuckoo virus. No, it's not. No, it is not the Canova. I don't know what a Canova virus is, Courtney. I don't even know what that. I don't know. Corona is a drink you put in your mouth, you drink it, you buy it for women in college because you try to get you something. That's what that's for. It's cuckoo virus because we cuckoo. You missed that episode. It's the cuckoo because it doesn't really matter the name. You can call it Zika, call it anthrax, or not anthrax. What was the other one? Ebola and Black Plague and all these viruses. They're always the same thing. They're the same thing. They're always government viruses. We call it, that's why it's the cuckoo virus. It's the cuckoo virus because one, we don't invest anything in protecting the human race from viruses. We're not doing any sort of viral program to look out for people. We're using DARPA to make murder technology. So we're certainly encouraging viruses and bacteria and parasites and swine flus and chicken flus and crow flus to murder us. So we're stupid, we're cuckoo. And it's cuckoo on the other side because we're even making viruses. So not only are we helping the ecosystem figure out new and creative ways to murder us and bring about extinction, because we don't care nothing about healthcare. We don't know anything about what healthy is. We just do what's profitable, but we also make bioweapons. So no, I don't know what corona is. I don't know. No, ain't no coronavirus in my world. Not in my world. In my world, all the viruses are cuckoo. They're always trying to come kill us, and I don't think paying taxes to help them murder us is a good idea. So this, I'd rather Julian Assange be pardoned. I don't know if I really want to do the rest of this. I want him to be pardoned because he said the truth. Gods is crazy. That's the truth. The truth is the gods are crazy and all the wars are a lie. That's the truth. And this man didn't say it, and he shouldn't be in prison for that. He should be free. He should be on everybody's shoulders. We should be yelling and screaming, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Not he's CIA. Nobody cares about that. This man told us things that were very true. That's the reason to pardon him. But I think it's just an election year. That's all it is. Yes, an ordinary cold is a form of a Canova virus. And you know what? They're all cuckoo viruses, Ivan. They're all cuckoo. They're always cuckoo. Because we kill more people than the cuckoo virus does. Before I started this video, and capitalism killed more people, and so did communism, and so did socialism. So I don't want to section them out. Like our conflict-based capital-having societies murdered more people before this video even finished. So I don't want to talk about the cuckoo virus. You know, our wars have killed more people. Right? Our poisoning the crops have killed more people, right? Shampoo done killed more people since this thing started than the cuckoo virus, okay? Shampoo and cosmetics, breast cancer, autism, you know, I don't want to go through it. But that's why I call it the cuckoo virus, because it's cuckoo, and you're cuckoo if you're really even following. I'm sorry, I don't even follow it. I don't even pay attention. It doesn't. My government's always trying to kill me. I know that. I don't need to watch TV to know that. I don't need to know that they're working on bioweapons. I don't need to know that they're poisoning me with the food, the air, the water, the coffee, everything. I already know that. I'm having a good day. Like, I don't know why people want to ruin their days being worried about it. Government's working on the zombie apocalypse. They're always working on a plague. They're always trying to figure out new ways to make money and pretend that we all aren't going to die if they don't actually grow the hell up and we force them to do what's the right thing to do. But we let them do it. We let them do it. We consent to it. So you can't be mad at the cuckoo virus. We literally all did our part. Like Starship Troopers, we all did our part. We voted and cheered, and they agree. It's a good idea to have people under New York City. It's a good idea to make new poo viruses in Baltimore City by having poo on the streets in San Francisco, and people living in that poo and no water, no electricity, and we even making mental illness. We literally making viruses. We are a virus-making society. We are a mentally ill virus-making, taking the human being that's a frequency and turning it into a bad tuned piano, and then rehiring it to do it every 4 years to do it again. So yeah, that's why I call it the cuckoo virus. So yeah, I don't think there's anything to this. I don't think they're gonna pardon Assange. I don't think it really matters anymore. I think that they're just telling people what they want to hear. Everybody wants to act like there's some kind of patriot and they're helping, and they don't ever help. But they have to act that way, and the Americans believe it, so they'll keep voting for it. So it's not impossible someone created a more deadly form in a lab. Oh, definitely, Kim. Oh, they got something with it. Oh, the American government got something great cooked up for Americans. The Chinese government has something fantastic cooked up for the Chinese, and the Russian government has something fantastic cooked up for the Russians. The kings and lords have always depopulated us, and so they got something cooked up. But I think this one was just one that just slipped out, and it's a low budget one. Of course, tied to 5G or something. I don't know. They're blocking that post that say 5G and Wuhan and Coco virus on the internet, so there probably is something to that. There's something there. All right, let me see. Let me get down. Is there anything else good in here? Roger Stone sentencing. I don't even know who Roger Stone is. The name's vaguely familiar. I think he's out of Hollywood, right? I don't really follow Hollywood. Collapse of Wiener, Germany. Wait a minute. Collapse of Weimar, Germany? With Brett Hett. I don't know that that's important. Oh, it's Chris Hedges. I always love Chris Hedges. I don't know if that's... Oh, I did hear something important. By the way, I don't like picking the news. I'm working on something. I'm still working on something. I want y'all to pick the news, but we'll get there in a minute. I'm not there yet. I'm not ready. Somebody did the right thing with Sweden. They shot some bankers or murdered them, killed them, threw them tarred and feathered, threw them in the monkey pit or something, barrel of monkeys, made them fight some orangutans. Who was that? Was it Belgium? Somebody threw the bankers out. Somebody did something bad to bankers. I forgot. I thought I posted it. Uh-oh, I see a picture of an alien. You know what's important to me. I know, I picked the news. I'm going there. Astronomers to sweep the entire sky for signs of alien life. Yep. I'm going to go there because free energy is the most important topic, but I'm going to be fair. All right, I shouldn't do that. I do that. Free energy is the most important thing to me. All right, what else we got? We'll get down to it. I'm still going to play it. I'm going to play it, but I'm going to make sure I read everything else too. I'm not trying to dominate the conversation. Meet the 11-year-old future of skateboarding. Okay. Well, that's more important than all the conflict-based news. It's more important than wars, more important than all that nonsense. I agree with that, but I don't want to see skating right now. Biohacking pioneers. We are pioneering biohacking. We're trying to hack the biome, and I appreciate it saying that way. It's not engineering. You don't have any engineers working on your immune system. You don't have any engineers making chemicals to treat a biological person. They're just called hacking. They're hackers. That's why they call it a practice. They don't call it working. They call it a practice. Is it Spain, Jonathan? Yeah, I think it might be Spain. Somebody do a quick search, because to me that was news, Jonathan. I can't believe it's not on RT. That's news. That's news. Somebody's throwing bank. That's effective. Now you're doing something. Yes, Spain is jailing the banker supposedly. Yes, Jonathan. That was it right there. That's it right there. That's changing your world. That's hope changing. That's some hope you can believe in. That's some change right there. When you go after the people who got the real money, the real power, the purse. When you go after the purse that keeps everybody in conflict, now you're trying to change your world. Now you're trying to make Spain great again. You ain't going after them, you ain't doing nothing. You just run your mouth. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Jonathan. Absolutely. I see exactly who I think it was. I might need me an immigration application. Can I have dual citizenship? Yes, citizens can do that. Because Congressman, I still live in a country, literally. Most of Congress has dual citizenship with other nations. With one nation in particular. I think that's the funniest thing. And people are voting for this. This is just boggles my mind. Fair and Balanced. You know what? I thought Fair and Balanced was a Fox News tagline. I didn't know it was a person. But this is why, I probably should watch the news sometime. I thought that was Fox News. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Absolutely. Assange, most important symbol of press freedom today. Absolutely. And that symbol's already been understood. Oh, that's John. We got to watch John. We got to watch John. But that statement's already been made. The press is already scared to talk. So, who in the press would be truthful about Western wars now? Only a fool, only a psychopath, only a nut job like Chris Hedges, only a nut job like Abby Martin, only nutty people like Lee Camp, only nutty people who actually say very truthful and helpful things. And they're crazy. You can't tell me that these people ain't nuts. Standing up to a government that will lock you under the prison. They're doing everything they can to murder Assange. So yeah, the damage is already done. Most of the press, the people who have children and they like food and oxygen, they don't want to be Bubba's roommate. They didn't kill themselves in prison. Only those people are speaking up. All the other journalists are quiet. So the damage is already done. Erdogan, because the Americans aren't standing up. You got half the Americans screaming he's CIA and he's a traitor, and other half screaming, other half saying he was a hero. As long as people are this stupid, then yeah, you don't have to change anything. That damage is already done. Erdogan, that's the Turkey guy, right? Owns Putin after a close call in Syria. Oh yeah, well, a lot of dramas happening over there, I think, right now. Jimmy Dore, always appreciate him. Lots of laughter, moment over claims of Afghanistan war is ending. The Afghanistan war is not ending. If Afghanistan still has coltan, they have tin, uranium, and oil, the war is not over. They got opium. There's no way it's winding down. America is a for-profit corporation. They're going to do every single time what's profitable. It doesn't matter what you want, what you vote for. It is not winding down. Russiagate 2.0. Yeah, and then you're going to have 3.0. And then you have 4.0. If we still exist, haven't gone extinct by then, we're going to have 5.0. Because if it works, that's what they're going to do. You have people yelling and screaming like damn fools on the internet that Russia is going to influence this next election while the banks run the country. All right, let me see. Kids think he's Tony Hawk. Okay. Yes, it was a country in Europe. Yep, Spain. Yeah, I think it was Spain. Yep, I think it was Spain. Absolutely. Research the bankruptcy stats of retired sports players. Ooh-wee. Basketball and football. Tell me why, Miss Tree. He's a billionaire who's trying to buy the election. Oh, who the not Bloomberg, the other one. What was his name? I know the names. I really don't focus. I like to look at, Roger Stone. Okay, well, so he's like the Koch brothers, just trying to buy the election. Okay, just like the banks. The real influencers, not Russia. Russia couldn't care. Russia got UFOs too. Russia don't care. Russia, that was probably the Russian UFO. That UFO that was flying in that footage, that F-18 gun camera, it was probably Russian. It was probably America. You just trolling Russia like, look, we're going to show that you got this. Now Russia's going to troll America. And the Chinese, the one that was floating over the airport, like all of this is free energy. But that's what Patricia was talking about. All this is for the stage alien invasion. The pagans are coming to kill you. Pagans don't care. Pagans literally just doing their own thing. They might fly by every now and then, drop a bottle or something. The God's crazy as hell, but they're not interested. They're not stupid enough to want anything from us. They don't need to come and ask us anything. They don't need to invade us. Unless they're like really low budget aliens like us who can barely make a starship because they keep their people in conflict over oil. Now they come here, we might be able to fight. But I think just the point that them coming to get here, I think the environment would kill them. I think all the flus and viruses and all the stuff the government's working on, releasing on the general population, and all the things everybody's working on, eating Twinkies out of Walmart, trying to fight for healthcare, eating pesticide-drenched pizzas, all the viruses that we're cultivating. When the aliens get here, that stuff gonna murder them. They ain't evolving. I think space is just means of separating groups of evolving lab experiments. That's probably all it is. And once you learn to cross it, once you get that good, you either get knocked back by an asteroid But if you can cross, you got so much power, you probably had to evolve to a point where you're not really interested in bananas. You're probably into real interesting things. But let's take a look. Because I don't even know why there's still a NASA. I don't know why anybody follows NASA. Nobody tells you when they make a clipper ship to go rob other people that they've made it until they're ready to use you as slave labor. NASA's not supposed to find life. They're supposed to pretend they're looking for it, spending billions of dollars.
Today's a big day for me because I get to talk about the only thing I want to talk about these days, which is aliens.
Which is why I love you.
As an astronaut theorist, I always say yes, which is why I say yes to this story. For the first time ever, astronomers are going to sweep the entire sky for any signs of extraterrestrial life. The project is a collaboration between the SETI Institute, a not-for-profit organization whose name stands for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and the Very Large Array Observatory in New Mexico, or VLA, which is one of the world's most powerful radio observatories. You know it. It's the one that was in that movie Contact with all those giant, amazing dishes all lined up. Here's how the project will work. The VLA is going to operate as usual, but all that data it collects will now be duplicated and fed into a dedicated supercomputer that will specifically search for any beeps, squawks, or other signatures of distant technology, according to The Guardian. And that will allow the SETI Institute access to tons more data to survey the entire sky for aliens. And the project is just one of many upcoming SETI.
I have to be honest with you. I'm not excited as I thought I would be. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I need a hug. I'm just not into looking for aliens. I'm not into it. I don't know. I guess it's just weird. It's just like if we have flying UFOs in Space Force, why are we still listening for radio signals? Isn't this a waste of money? Is it just me? We have a TR-3B. The patent was released. We have devices that can fly in space and go, say, knock on the door. Why are we still? I don't know. I love this lady. She liked to talk about aliens, but it's kind of like why I can't watch that show, Project Blue Book. I can't watch it because now it crossed from the we don't know because we're not sure to it's literally all the world's governments have said that there's stuff flying around out there. They have free energy technology. So I kind of see this more of drawing up and building up this narrative that maybe we're not alone. And we literally aren't alone. So I don't know, it might just be me. We can watch the rest of it. I appreciate that she talks about aliens, but not from the perspective of we need to find out if there's life everywhere. We already know there's life everywhere. We know that. We know NASA can't find it because their job isn't to find it. Their job is to spend a lot of money and pretend we're alone. So we'll stay in conflict with the people in the other nation. That's NASA's only purpose. If NASA were open source, it would be a very different world, but they're not open source. I mean, I got a pop up 40 minutes ago. They shut down the ISS feed again. Like they used to shut it down because people were seeing all these Space Force UFOs flying around. And they shut the feed off. So it's just like, I don't know. I like, we'll watch the rest of it. But I'm not interested in looking for life. I already know life is out there. To me, it's common damn sense. Life is everywhere. Is there intelligent life out there? That's only a question if you're really ignorant and you're not looking around you. Of course it's out there. We need to I think talk more about why do we have this technology that the gods dropped. They started all the religions, the aliens that came here. We need to have conversations. Why aren't we using the technology, the bottle that we found to actually free the people from forced labor as opposed to beat each other in the head with it like we're a tribe?
Projects that were just outlined at a conference in Seattle, which is great, according to this ancient astronaut theorist. The news comes on the heels of the fact that the U.S. government has also stepped up its alien hunting efforts, or at least it's recognizing them more publicly now than ever before. The Navy actually wrote up new guidelines for pilots and other personnel to report UFOs. And to help destigmatize such sightings, they're actually calling UFOs UAPs now, which stands for Unexplained Aerial Phenomena. And many mainstream news outlets did lengthy reports on the new guidelines too. The New York Times even did a piece on it. This is how serious everyone is finally taking UFO sightings.
Okay. So I do appreciate she came up a little bit for me. I appreciate, because there's some people who still think they're alone. And okay, I get, all right, yeah, I take it back. I was a little, man, I'm not that interested, but there are people who still think we're alone, you know? But I think the bigger discussion is, why are they doing slow releases? You know we have the technology. The whistleblowers have all said it. Like, I think this is more vindicating of all the 1,000 whistleblowers who actually said that we have these craft and we have reverse engineered them. So I appreciate that, and it's bringing people along. But for me, it's not that interesting. You know, for me, it's just, we have people starving to death under cities in our country. We're still blowing up people every damn morning, and we don't have to, right? That's my problem. But it's good. It's good, because I know this is helping other people to start to see the real world. You know, the government's known this for a very long time, and they kept it from people because they were trying to figure out how to take the clipper ship in Greek fire and abuse their citizens and somebody else's citizens with it.
Or, UAP sightings, which all makes me very happy as an ancient astronaut theorist, especially as I believe now is...
That's not theory. Okay, it's not theory. People came here a long time ago. We don't know where they came from. Other dimensions, inner Earth, or other planets. People came here, they dropped bottles, and they created cargo cults. They saw them come out from out the sky. All the ancients said it. And that's why they worship the stars in the skies, and they created the heavens, because that's where God comes from. All right, those are little g gods. Hell yes, the gods are hella crazy, because they came here and they gave us mathematics and agriculture and some technologies, and it totally broke us. It destroyed us. Like, I agree with the whole the aliens need to stay away stuff, because we do have to evolve as a civilization together. Like, I've been watching, I'm an old Trekkie, so I've been watching Enterprise. What is it? Starship Enterprise. The first, when they went back and they did the retro with Jonathan Captain Archer, right? In Star Trek, you have what's called the prime directive, right? That you don't get involved in other species. And now it makes perfectly good sense to me. You know, we shouldn't be getting involved in any other species.
It's definitely the time for us to make contact. Because not only is our tech advancing faster than ever, but our society needs answers more than ever. We've lost all sense of purpose and meaning, and contact with other intelligent beings would certainly provide some of that. Sure, it's a risk.
Nah.
We could find benevolent beings who reaffirm our spirituality, or we could find the malevolent kind who want to destroy us. But at this point, with how lost our society has become, it's a risk I'm willing to take.
No, I'm not. Because, and so I wanted to let her finish so I could make my statement. The bottom line is that you can't influence other evolving groups this way with bottles. You can't give them mathematics and agriculture. You can't give that to them and leave. If you give it to them, you got to stay, right? Because now the destruction that you brought on their group, you're responsible for. This is why the gods are crazy as hell. Like, this movie was a great movie kind of explaining this. We do this all the time. We go to other civilizations just to dominate them and rule them. We have guns, they don't. So we show up and we give them guns, and they shoot each other, right? You have to evolve and learn to use technology responsibly. Then this gets into the whole DARPA thing, right? When you have a government that constantly creates technology, that we're not all evolving together and open source and think about how we use it and why to use it and will it benefit us? Do we have time for war? Should we be going to murder people and we got people starving here? When we don't develop technology together, and this is what the people in DARPA are saying, that it doesn't evolve the way that it should, right? They always use it to shoot and kill each other. So yeah, I'm not interested in aliens showing up. I'm actually not. Not in giving us anything. I think that sure, show up, but don't land. Bring all your ships, surround Earth. Do the thing on, what was the name of that movie? Guardians of the Galaxy. Do that thing. Like, just show up, don't blow up the Earth, but just show up and just let everyone see, finally, and say, we're not alone. Okay, I get it now. We shouldn't be blowing up other nations. We shouldn't be starving people. We should be using societies as tuning forks. We should be using governments as tuning forks to help people to evolve consciousness and become better people, not to keep them in conflict with one another because of GDP. Because we're surrounded, and we literally are. It's a massive, massive universe. There's a whole lot out there, and we don't know nothing about anything that's out there. So I kind of disagree with that. Like, I agree with the whole Prime Directive. I don't think anything should be getting involved in here. All we need to know, and maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that UFO and the gun camera isn't Russia. Maybe it's not America. Maybe it's not Space Force. Maybe it's just the alien saying, look, guys, we're here. Why are you still killing each other for dirty oil? Like, why are you still letting governments and systems play you into this? Why are you still letting corporations who are behind all the political parties and all the governments, why are you letting banks that own all nations keep you in conflict with one another? So it was a good news thing. I think you should watch The Gods Must Be Crazy. I think that's a great analogy for where we are right now. Good morning, Dawn. All right, let me do comments and get out of here. Man's law is a racket. Yeah, man's law is a racket. War's a racket, Jasmine. We are 98% monkeys. We need to admit it so we can stop messing around with the monkey side of our brain and DNA. Good morning, John. Good morning, Lorna. That's BS. Trump did not sanction that offer. Okay, the guy that made the offer did it on his own and told Assange he would connect Trump, to the president. Okay, and that makes sense, Patricia, because it was weird, the headline. That was with the way it was presented. How many people have died so far? Megs, we have no idea. I like the statistic put out. They said 5 million died since 9/11, and that should be the hint that. I'm sorry. You're talking about the cuckoo virus. How many died so far, Megs? You'll never know. You have no idea. It could be one person. It could be a billion people. We would never know. We literally get all of our information from television, and television is designed just to control us. It's all a lie. So we have no idea. I won't even publish statistics. I won't, because I know I can't believe any of them. It's just scary. It's fear-mongering. Like, they use it to control us. Bloomberg is a low-level billionaire that cares about poor people who will hold high-level billionaires accountable. And I'm a mermaid. All right, Susan, and of course we know Susan is not a mermaid. She's a naturalist. she's a mushroom harvester. Yeah. So yeah, all the billionaires are psychopathic. If you have $1 billion of what it takes to save millions of people from not dying, then absolutely, absolutely, you may not be crazy. But as long as the billionaires have what most people need, there's something wrong with them. The virus is now in Italy too. Several towns are quarantined and completely cut from the world. I believe that, Ivana. I think that's true. That doesn't surprise me. Not that because I really think it's true, but because we don't really give two damns about people's health, let alone we have bioweapons, laboratories making these things. So the fact that it's spreading is not surprising to me. I'm pretty sure people in Europe eat as bad as we do, well, almost as bad as we do here. I heard it's in the U.S. I heard it hit the East Coast. I'm sure it is, Megs. If I was running the government, I probably wouldn't tell people till it was epidemic. Until it was profitable to like scare everybody with it, I probably wouldn't say anything. So I expect they'll tell us when it's like really, really powerful. You can get people out to the polls, get them voting, get them scared of each other, or control them in some way. Government always does what gives them more power. And one or two cases of it, that's not going to gain any power. Having some sort of an outbreak or epidemic, then you can get people to vote to give up their rights and give up their gold, give up their guns, and do other stupid stuff. Let's give up on the news. I gave up on the news, Patricia. I do, but you got to see what the monkeys are doing. You know, you gotta look and watch the monkeys from a distance. You have to see what they're talking about. Otherwise, we can't relate to them. News for me, mostly, Patricia, is about like being able to relate to people, relate to what they're scared of. Because if they start a conversation, then you have to be able to talk in their world as well, not just the real world, but their world that's on TV. You have to know what's happening in the Matrix. Otherwise, you can't help people who are still locked in the Matrix. Megs is in California. Oh, Megs is in California, the experimental state. That's where we most of the chemtrails and the pesticides are tried out on the population. And the new laws to help people, because government is here to help through 4 shots. Not many in relation to how many sick people there are, more elderly and ones with underlying medical conditions. And you're right, Ivan, and I agree with that. That's why I say wars and cuckoo viruses are the #1 erasers of history, because they kill old people. Old people are our libraries, and wars and cuckoo viruses, they go after weak immune systems. That tends to be our older generation. Long, uncomfortable hug. Why I get a long, uncomfortable hug? Because Bofon is a nut job, that's why. It's like the flu or a cold. Yes, it is. Cuckoo virus is like the flu or the cold, but it's an evolving thing. You know, it's everything's evolving to reclaim energy, and even though we created it and it's a weak virus, it's still trying to figure out. All it's got to do is land in that right person. The right person where it mutates the right way, that's been eating Twinkies and not staying away from every vegetable they can. And it could evolve and become a monster. We have no idea. This could be an earlier version of a later monster they create. We have no idea. That's why I believe in the open source society and no secrets in government. We have no idea what they created and what this is a precursor to. So it's not impossible. Someone created a more deadly one. Right, form into life. That's my point, Kim. This could be a precursor to something much more aggressive it might evolve into. Lots of laughter. No, I'm from Wisconsin. I've told you this so many times. I know. Who did you tell? You told that to me, Max? I don't know. Maybe. The gray on my face is functional, people. It's not there for show. I told you that. That stuff works. Energizer Bunny's still going, and I'm 2 hours late. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I know. I'm slowing down, Jack. You can see that. That's why they say I need a hug. You can see I'm slowing down. This coffee is wearing down. I got to get there. Oh, my goodness. Look at the time. I do got to go. I got slavery today. Vigorously memeing. Uh-oh. See what Bofon came up with today. That was he did one this weekend. It was like me. It was like a collage. It was like free energy, UFO, stop killing people, stop murdering people, consciousness, evolve, third eye, blah, blah, blah. I was kind of laughing at it because it was just like nothing ever changes. This is actually the same. Every day we got the same problems. Nothing's ever changing. Stop with the chemtrails, stop with the corporations, stop with the voting. Nothing's changing. But the things that we have to keep saying, otherwise the wrong people don't hear them. Iceland did it also. Yes, Iceland did it also, Ms. Tree. We should follow their example. They're a society that's trying to create a tuning fork for the frequency we call the human being. Getting rid of banks and conflict and capitalism and socialism and all the isms and capital-based systems. Like, people don't seem to get it, Ms. Tree. It's like, once again, if your society is based on capital, it doesn't really matter what it is. If it's based on capital, the people with the most capital will rule, and those are called banks. It doesn't really matter the isms. Iceland, Spain. I'm committed to do comments, and I gotta go. I'm super late. Oh, looky, she does devil horns. Oh, okay, yeah. Patricia don't like that girl. See, Patricia does not like any alien lady. Patricia does not. Between, you know what, Patricia? Who do you like the least? Do you like the alien lady the least, or do you like Michelle Obama? Which one are you going after the most? Good morning, Marius. And I hope instantly notify all news outlets of findings. Well, so Kim, yeah, so that's the thing. And this is why I'm not interested much in what NASA has to say. Like, I'm interested in NASA and space because I like space, not because they're NASA. The problem with it is they don't have like free streaming. It's not open source. Like, if NASA actually was for the people, everything they did would instantly go to the people. But unfortunately, you got NASA whistleblowers saying they're lying about what's on the moon and Mars and everywhere else. And so they can't be trusted, right? They're more gatekeepers than anything else. If they can't find life, they've been looking for, how long they've been in, when was their inception? When they grabbed all the Germans that murdered people and they brought them to the United States and gave them great homes and swimming pools and nice lodges. They won't give Americans the day that live under San Francisco. Operation Paperclip. So NASA's inception was in the 1940s, right after World War II, and they should have been on in war crime tribunals, but America brought them here to give them wonderful lives that they won't give America today. Yeah, it's always been, they've always controlled the opposition. They've always controlled the information. If they live stream when they open tombs, I'm good with that. But they won't even do that for the tombs. So of course, NASA's not telling you what's actually out there. They're a part of the government. They're a for-profit corporation from within the government. And it's not profitable to let people know that there are aliens out there. It's not profitable. Not yet. It's not profitable to find life. There's no reason. Power concedes nothing unless you're forced to. Why would they let people know there's alien life or life out there? Looking for it would keep people paying their taxes and going to work. Letting people know that there's life out there, goo, flying people, avian people, yellow people, dinosaurs, and then nobody would be here like working. Everybody would be curious about what's up there. They'd be like, wow, why are we fighting? Russia and China and America all get together and be scared of what's coming. Alien bacteria landing here on asteroids, creating new parasites, murdering people. Then you'd be like, well, we need to stop this with CVS and Walgreens and big pharmaceuticals, giving us more poisons. We need real healthcare. I think if they ever found life out there or aliens, hell no, they wouldn't tell us. That's the stupidest thing ever. If they told us, then the world's conflicts there would be no benefit. Though the energy industry would collapse. You'd have to admit that free energy is real. Elderberry syrup, honey, chaga, and maitake mushrooms and sunshine, and you'll be fine. Absolutely. And not the butt kind for Bofon. Yeah, Bofon does have a thing with butts, doesn't he? Voting these days amounts to who can stand hearing about good and bad for the next 4 years. Yeah, Sharon, and it's also, it's just about telling other people what to do. It's about people who get together with other large groups of people to try to tell everybody how they're supposed to be. And I can't have nothing to do with that because I don't know how people should be. I barely know how I should be. So I have no interest in voting or grouping up with other people to try to tell a world or a nation or other political parties what they're supposed to do for me. That makes no sense. We need to just free the people, and that's not going to happen from voting for a organization that's based in power, that's for profit. They literally take power from the people every single election. Doesn't matter who's in office. They write more laws, scaring everybody into victimism. They write more laws to seize more power and money. I was aboard a spaceship this morning. Ivana, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Because you could have been. You could be an alien, and I need to know the information. I need to know what really happened. Don't make jokes on that stuff. Ivana, if you want to joke about the Democrats and Republicans. Don't joke about the alien spaceship, because I need tickets. You was on an alien spaceship. You need to give me that link for Ticketmaster, because I got to get the hell out of here. Don't play with me. She's probably playing, but I think she's playing. I'm not sure if she's playing or not. Graveyard shift or Gerard's cast. Hang on. Crew just clocked in. Good job. Swing shift viewers. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it is the graveyard shift. I don't know how the hell I was on this. Oh, I started late. That's why. I started way too late. But G needs a hug. G always needs a hug, Jonathan. Everybody needs a hug. The planet needs a hug. The earth needs a hug. The Democrats and Republicans need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hugs and a kiss on the cheek and a booty pinch or something. They need a whole bunch. Give them all of them. They need a whole lot. There's a whole lot of problems they have. They're victims. They believe that they need to rob and steal from other people. The political parties and political people, y'all say, don't give me no hug. You go hug them. I'll be all right. But they need a whole bunch of hugs. Anybody who will send drones to go bomb people hundreds of times a day so they can have nicer, friendlier, convenient living, they need a whole lot of hugs. Give my hug to them. I need a hug. I always need hugs, especially if you're purdy. Hell yeah, I need a hug. But they need hugs first. Hey, Patty, good morning. I gotta go. There's a farm about 20 minutes from me that is also a nudist colony. The name of the farm is Totally Natural. Yes, totally. As in toad? Ugh, totally, no, Meg, that's wrong. It should be totally, not as in toad, the monster, the animal, the creature, no. Because who's gonna go to a nudist colony called Totally Natural? You know, toads ain't pretty. Toads in the American bodies, they do weird things when they shop at Walmart. So yeah, no, I don't think I'd go to that one. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna like what I see. You know, the part of the beauty of being in a nudist colony is you get to be nude, vitamin D3, you're healthier, Garden of Eden. You got to have some people walking around that don't have warts on their bodies in places. You got to have some young people. You can't just have all us old folk. You have to have a little eye candy between the tomatoes and grapes and stuff. So yeah, I'd totally do a nudist colony, but not totally, not TOAD. No, I'm not doing that one. No, I might vomit like I did the other. That might be that acid reflux. That might kick in. No. I don't need to be vomitly nudie. No, you don't need people vomiting putting extra nitrates in the ground because people walk around looking like toads. No, Americans need to do more exercises. And stop eating what the government tells them to. Stop eating what the FDA tells you. That's not food. That's profit. That's just profit. The coronavirus virus is related directly to weaponized frequencies, y'all. Ooh. Okay, the cuckoo virus is related directly to weaponized frequencies. Is it, Patty? That's crazy. That's not crazy. I was about to say it's crazy. That's not crazy. That's what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to kill us. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. Don't touch them, you'll get warts. Exactly, Kim. That's my point. You trying to out there gardening and stuff, and somebody come by and that booty cheek rubbing on yours because you know in the farm you got the rows and there ain't a lot of room in the rows for people to walk and people rubbing on you and like butt cheek to butt cheek and No. People gotta have some smooth skin. You gotta have some. You can't have all warts. Can't be all warts. No. You see all the things you do and you don't want to see. Yeah, I don't think you want to see much over there. Because they probably have warts in certain spots they ain't supposed to have warts. Some parts supposed to be smooth, but you got warts and bumps everywhere, little pus dropping out. Somebody sitting by the lake with the tongue out. Yeah, nah, we don't need that. You're from Wisconsin. I told you, okay, boop, 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 boop. The vigorous means, okay, we're almost done. I can get out of here. It's a homage to fungi. Yes, it probably is, Megs. If people got all kind of warts, they probably got fungi too. Between the cracks and the places oxygen doesn't get and bacteria kind of sets in and the wart juice and everything percolating in that fold underneath that armpit. Yeah, bad things gonna happen. Got that third, fourth wing. I miss John Anthony West. Oh, yes, Brother Jonathan, don't we? I would have loved to take him on eat. Oh, Jonathan, we lose our heroes. He was my hero. John Anthony West was a hero. Jonathan, go on and speak on it. Y'all need to watch John Anthony West. He had a lot of good speeches and lectures. We lose all of our heroes are in the grave. We ain't got no heroes alive. We don't need another hero. We all need to be heroes. But our heroes, they don't get to make it too long. Being honest, telling the honest truth. Certainly there will be fees attached. What fees being attached, Miss Tree? What's going on? Believe is DJJ, a Canadian company that's developing software for tracing all personnel, drones, RC vehicles, owners, state ID, home addresses, and all. It will be registered in devices, auto-traced, and disabled. Oh, absolutely. But that's the police state, Miss Tree. That's who we are. We believe in the police state. We can't stop voting for the police state and crying about lives not mattering. That's just what we do. We vote for the police state and then we cry about what we get. And we can't seem to connect the two. I had a great old meme. I used to do memes. I kind of do memes every now and then. I let Beaufont take it over. I like this one right here. This was one of my greats. Let me show this. I have a this thing doesn't show you everything, though. I really don't like this. This is what I love. This was an old one. This was from 2 years ago. Because in the United States, every stoplight you go to is about 800 cameras on every damn stoplight. It's supposed to make you stop and go and slow down, but instead, it's for peeping Tomism. And you just look up, you often look up at the heavens and wonder who's looking back. God, is that you? God, are you listening? Are you listening, God? Hell yeah, God, can you see me? Yep, God can see you. Omnipotence, knowing every damn thing, because you got spies everywhere in the devices, the cameras, the seat cushions, eventually money's probably gonna spy on you. All right, I messed everything up. There you go. That's the police state. That's the police state. This is what keeps us controlled. The government doesn't want to evolve. They need to evolve into an open source new thing. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to do it. And how they do that is they create a police state to watch you. As long as they're watching you and you have no privacy, they can keep all their privacy they want. That's how powerful systems gain more power. Our next evolution in government is an open source government. No secrets at all. They can't have any secrets. When that happens, then great things will happen. Give people direct democracy, let them decide, and beautiful things will happen. The government doesn't want to evolve. They want to keep this conflict model, how they're modeled. You know what I meant. No, I didn't. Did I? No, I didn't. We're outlawing the abilities to hold government accountable for the common man. Stingray already Scrabble's digital cameras, cell phones, these biatches. Yes, well, I know what you mean. Yeah, when it comes to that, absolutely. Except for we've already outlawed it. Like government's not accountable to law because government ain't government. There's no accountability in corporations. The United States Incorporation, all capital, is a for-profit organization. There's no accountability. They're an organization. They're literally run by a board of investors and nobody know who they are. 1871, Act of 1871. That's why voting is completely illogical. Completely illogical. All right, I gotta get going. Good morning, Barbara. A man built a stone park in Florida. I can't remember the name. A stone park in Florida. Brother Jack. Are you talking about the Coral Castle? Yes, Coral Castle. Kim answered the question. There you go. I didn't have to answer it. Good morning, Gabrielle. Notes and numbers for moving big rocks. Yes, Jack. You know the only thing on Coral Castle that I saw a picture and he had like a tripod with a box on top of it. And some people say it's an alien box, like it's a bottle from The Gods Must Be Crazy. Alien technology. I kind of thought it was a cherry puller. What's it called? A cherry picker? It was a device I used to change the engine of my first Bug. I think it's called a cherry picker, where you put the chain up and you pull it and kind of like the tick, 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 tick. And some people say he used that to do it. I don't know. Maybe he discovered frequency and a tune or whatever. Some sort of tuning fork to levitate bricks or something. I don't know. I kind of thought where I ended up on that was that he had some mechanical means of doing it. If he really were something fantastic, then it would have been different. I think it wouldn't have gone as slow. So, but anyway, I can keep going. Listen, this is Gerard. Appreciate you guys. Happy Monday. It's not all that happy, but you gotta act like it's happy. You gotta act like it's happy. I gotta get out of here. Whew, that was fun.
Well, what do you think about that? Boom, boom. Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna free?